Frank Martin and the Wildcats have their fans in a frenzy. Michael Beasley and this fantastic freshman class have given the Cats hope. With the play of the beast from the East, K-State is pumped. Kansas runs into Bramlage with all the confidence and skill of an unbeaten team that wants to silence the crowd here. The Jayhawks have reason to applaud as they've soared above the crowd. KU and K-State on a collision course tonight from the Little Apple. The refrains of the Wabash Cannonball reverberating through the halls of Bramlage Coliseum. These fans hopeful that the streak will come to an end here today. The streak, you ask? I don't think you need to ask that if you live in a sunflower state. The Jayhawks have never lost at Bramlage, 19 straight, 24 straight overall. These two teams coming into this game both ranked for the first time since 1958. When you look at the standings, there's a great reason for this optimism for both these squads, both of them unbeaten in the Big 12. Of course, Kansas unbeaten overall this year, the number 2 team in the land. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong, along with Paul Split. Our Split, we've talked a lot about the streak this week. In reality, what does it mean to these two teams?
I think it means a whole lot for the 12,000 Wildcat fans in the building here tonight. It means a lot to our viewers across the state. But for these two teams, they've had very little to do with the last 24 years, maybe 2 of the last 3 years.
Michael Beasley has caught the attention of everyone in the land and certainly caught the attention of the Kansas Jayhawks with a quote that said, "We'll beat them here, we'll beat them there, we'll beat them anywhere." And that's one of the things that he has said that has certainly drawn the ire of the KU faithful.
Well, it is the kind of quote that will grab everybody's attention. He said that several months ago, and the media has gotten a lot of mileage out of that. But it's time to put the quotes away, time to put the sneakers on.
And when they put the sneakers on, two guys will be watching closely, not only Beasley, but Brandon Rush of the Jayhawks.
Brandon Rush was challenged some 3 weeks ago by his coach to be more aggressive offensively. He has responded with 17 three-pointers in the last 5 games. And Michael Beasley, well, what else can you say about him? The best player in the league, best player in the country. Well, maybe, certainly he'll be in contention for it.
Well, the Wildcats hopeful that ending almost a quarter century of dismal activity against KU here in Manhattan. The Jayhawks and the Wildcats, and the opening tip is next.
6 players do not make a team. If they don't work together, they're just 6 individuals in matching uniforms. At Oppenheimer Funds, our investment professionals work hand in hand, sharing more than a common goal, sharing the skills that can lead to success. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Carefully consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call your advisor for a prospectus with this and other fund information. Read it carefully before investing.
These apple caramel bites are great.
Yeah, I love this cinnamon caramel dipping sauce.
I actually ate all mine. Can I get some of yours?
No, I want all of mine.
Come on, just give me some.
No, you shouldn't have finished yours so quickly.
That kind of bad caramel's going to come back to haunt you.
What?
You know, universe, all that stuff.
Oh, you mean karma.
Put an L on it. Caramel.
Take the L off of it.
Apple Caramel Bites, new at Sonic. Bite-sized snacks of warm apple and caramel served with the cinnamon caramel dipping sauce. And stop in for happy hour. Half-price drinks and slushes every day from 2 to 4 p.m.
Tonight's Big 12 game is brought to you by Phillips 66. Gasoline specially formulated to clean fuel injectors, increase performance, and above all, help maximize mileage. By Champion, how you play. By Advance Auto Parts, we're ready in advance. And by Red Lobster. For a short time, pair your 2 favorite shrimp creations together at Red Lobster. Welcome back to Bramlage Coliseum. The student section all fired up, trying to get warm. They've been out in the cold since noon yesterday, waiting out, camping out in anticipation of this game between the 2nd-ranked Jayhawks and the 24th-ranked Wildcats of Kansas State. K-State ranked again. They were ranked earlier this year as high as number 18. Here's the lineup for the Jayhawks. You see a very senior-laden lineup with 2 seniors in this lineup, including Russell Robinson and Darnell Jackson, along with Darrell Arthur, Brandon Rush, and Mario Chalmers, 3 guys that were McDonald's All-Americans. for the Wildcats, a freshman lineup. 2 seniors, 3 freshmen, Young and Stewart in the backcourt, Sutton, Walker, and Beasley in the front court. And we should note that Andre Gilbert, not starting, will not play, out with disciplinary action. The Jayhawks are led by Bill Self, who is in his 5th year. He is 10-1 against the Wildcats. The one loss coming in the 2006 season at Allen Fieldhouse. Other than that, he has been almost perfect in that winning percentage for Self, the best of any coach at Kansas that has coached more than 1 game. Frank Martin in his 1st year guiding the Wildcats, 14-4 overall. He has done a terrific job in molding this young club, and they are playing some of the best basketball in the country, led by this man, Michael Beasley, who's averaging 25 points and 13 rebounds, joined by his mate, Bill Walker. It'll be Kansas with the ball first, dressed in their road blue uniforms.
Look for Kansas to push the basketball. They'd like to press the tempo here this evening. Play up and down at a fast pace. A motion offense, 3 out, 2 in look.
Shot from the wing is good. A 3-pointer from Brandon Rush to begin things for the Jayhawks.
Over his last 5 ball games, he shot almost 60% from behind that arc. Kansas has not played a possession of zone defense so far this year, and certainly tonight they start out man-to-man. They want to pressure the ball out front.
Trying to get that ball inside, obviously, either Beasley or Walker having trouble doing so. Now Walker tries a 3.
Billy Walker was a perimeter player when the season opened. It was in early December. They built him into the power forward, sent him down low, but still very versatile.
Drop step and then a smother. They call a tie-up, and the alternate possession arrow will give the ball to the Wildcats.
Dave, you talk about the Kansas State team, just a couple seniors, 3 freshmen in the starting lineup. The freshmen are their most talented players, and they've got the experience at the place they need it. With Clint Stewart, the point guard, Blake Young, the number 2 guard, Kansas man-to-man pressure, put all kinds of pressure on those 2 guards here tonight. That's what Kansas State really wants their experience.
Start off with Darnell Jackson on Beasley, who throws up an air ball. Rebounded by Rush. Here comes Chalmers on the fly. Quickly gets it into the middle of the court on the wing for Robinson. That's no good. Arthur's tip. That's no good. And here comes Beasley.
Both these teams very good offensive rebounded teams. Expect them to be able to get to the glass all night tonight. In fact, that should be one of the keys. Which is the team that's going to do the best job with the second chance opportunity?
I was out in Colorado recently, Split, and Jeff Guzdelik, the first-year head coach of the Buffaloes, saying that both Walker and Beasley, they treat it like it's a pass to them. They are so good on the offensive glass. 3-pointer from Stewart, knocked out of bounds, and it'll belong to K-State.
Clint Stewart with the big basket, been shooting the threes a whole lot better once he got into conference play. They don't ask him to win ball games. They expect him to take care of the basketball and hit the open shots like that.
Well, the Wildcats with a good start hitting 2 perimeter shots, but I know they want to work the ball inside more if they can.
But you got to go inside to find Michael Beasley. He's an inside-out player, first of all, but if you're going to leave Billy Walker wide open like that, he's going to take it every time down.
In the crowd, this one will belong to the Jayhawks, knocked out by Beasley. And KU will take over, trailing by 3 early on. Bill Self's team not only have won all 20 games this year, they have won 28 of their last 29, 34 of their last 35, and if you go back to the middle of a couple of years ago, 68 of their last 75. An incredible run for KU.
Kansas likes to run a lot of sideline picks, a lot of room to work inside for Darrell Arthur.
Boy, tough shot for Arthur up over Walker.
The thing about K-State this year that is kind of a departure from previous seasons, this team can flat go out and score. 75, 80 points is not out of the question. For many years here in Manhattan, the offense was keyed by the defense. And Kansas immediately 12 doubles Michael Beasley.
3 for 3 for the Wildcats from 3-point range.
And now they've had 3 different players hit from long range. That's one of the differences in this Kansas State team. That's why they're able to pile up the points. It's not just Beasley, it's versatility and balance in their offense.
And Blake Young with his first foul. This ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Dave, one of the things we look for early on tonight is the Kansas guards looking to go on the dribble drive, trying to penetrate that Wildcat defense from out front. That's something that has been playing Kansas State all season long. Perimeter defense, on the ball pressure, keep guards out of the middle of their defense.
Now Robinson Robinson off the screen. Look at that. But look at unbelievable Dominique Sutton coming from nowhere for the block. Then Young. A hold by Arthur. No basket. Dominique Sutton came from nowhere to block the shot of Robinson.
Well, look at the block right there, Dominique Sutton. Now, he's one of those talented 3 freshmen that get the start in tonight's game. Didn't even join this team until semester. His first game was early January, so he doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but playing well for K-State.
Another 3. No, this one's off target. But the long rebound to Stewart. Trying to fire it inside. They say it'll belong to KU.
Good idea, tough pass to make. Had to throw it through a couple defenders, get a little more air under that ball, let Beasley get up near the rim to get it. Probably would have worked. One thing Kansas State has really done well, they've actually been more efficient in conference play. Assist to turnover ratio is great. They've really cut down on their turnovers.
Chalmers spins into the lane, but he traveled with it. Chalmers looking confused, thought that was just a good move in the paint. So did his coach, Bill Self, but travel, another turnover for KU, their second.
Kansas State not having any trouble playing up to the speed of the Kansas Jayhawks in the first 3.5 minutes.
Now Beasley tries a 3. That won't go, but there's Sutton again. That shot bothered. Off of Arthur, it'll stay with K-State.
And Dave, again, there's that offensive rebound. Kansas State as good as anybody in this league as far as covering that offensive glass.
The first substitution of the game. Sutton has been a huge part of the Wildcats so far in this contest. Sasha Khan will check in for KU.
On that inbounds pass. Once he gets it on the low block, tough to stop.
There goes Robinson again, taking it right at Beasley, and Beasley got a piece of it.
Kansas guards not having a whole lot of problem getting into that defense, but they've had some shots swatted away.
Long 3. Jackson there for the rebound. Walker trying one from beyond NBA range.
He was burying those in the shoot-around this afternoon and the 3-game warm-up tonight.
And another turnover. 4 already for KU. Michael Beasley. He's making some noise on the defensive end. And we're back after this from your friends at Phillips 66.
Enter the $66,000 free throw giveaway from Phillips 66.
Game on. The doctor is in and he's about to operate.
You could win a chance to shoot 4 free throws at the Phillips 66 Men's Big 12 Basketball Championship in Kansas City. Each shot is worth big money. Sink all 4 and win $66,000. So get to practice and get to your nearest Phillips 66 store to register.
Whatever.
For breakfast, try Chick-fil-A's tasty chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or breakfast burritos.
Need a lift?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford.
You too. Get in.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck. Visit ChevyHeartland.com for more information.
A perfect start for Kansas State as they take a 6-point lead. And Kansas shooting just 28% from the field so far. This ESPN Plus game brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. Split, that's a great start for Kansas State. Just what those young freshmen needed.
That needed a confidence builder early on. They felt in their heart they could play with the Jayhawks. Now they're proving to everybody that they can. Really getting it done early on the defensive end. They have forced 4 turnovers by the Jayhawks, and Kansas State on the other end of the floor has buried 3 early threes from 3 different shooters. So good balance for the Cats coming out here tonight.
Brandon Rush hit the first shot for KU. And in fact, he is only one of 2 field goals for the Jayhawks. They are 2 for 7 from the field. Michael Beasley so far in this game 0 for 2 from the field, but he does have a couple of rebounds.
And Kansas going to a little bigger lineup right now. They've got Darnell Jackson on the floor along with Sasha Khan. These guys usually play in tandem, usually only one at a time. Kansas State doing a good job on the glass, so Kansas going a little bit bigger and stronger in the front line.
3 guards out there for Kansas State, and now Beasley, he walked before he jammed.
Beasley, as soon as he saw Sasha Khan come out on the floor and try to challenge him at about 19 feet, thought he could beat him on the dribble, got too big a hurt.
Well, Sasha's in there defensively for KU. Now Sharon Collins bringing the ball up for the Jayhawks.
Sharon Collins, the quickest ball handler, the quickest dribble drive guy that Kansas has. Once again, guard burned out on the perimeter.
And no one came from the weak side for K-State.
And that's a big problem for Frank Martin right there. He knows that he's going to have some defensive problems out there. It's not the first time any of his guards have been beaten this year, but where was the rest of the defense?
Rush got a hand in there and stole that ball away. Good steal for the Jayhawks, a team that leads the Big 12 in steals this year, averaging over 10 steals per contest. They had 14 the other day against Nebraska. Rush again. He comes flying in, and Beasley, he didn't want to foul, didn't go after contact.
Well, Beasley has been exposed a couple times tonight where guards have driven right in his chest, and they're going to force him to play some defense.
So a quick adjustment by Bill Self and 2 easy baskets for the Jayhawks after the last time out.
In the half-court game, Kansas likes to go inside and then pop it back outside. And they go with that 3-out, 2-in look.
Khan, wow, what a tough shot up over Beasley.
Get the feeling Kansas going to force Beasley to play some defense tonight. They want him to work both ends of the floor. Hasn't gotten many good looks here on the offensive end.
6 straight points by the Jayhawks to even the score at 11 and silence this crowd, this sellout crowd at Bramlage. 3-pointer pulling.
There's another one of those talented freshmen for Kansas State out of Maywood, Illinois. He averages just under 10 points per ball game. Started early in the year with Clint Stewart out with a hamstring injury, coming off the bench now for Kansas State.
Palmer is asking everyone to clear out. It's a 2-man game with Darnell Jackson.
Beasley stepped up that time and a double team to take away that dribble drive.
Foul there on Billy Walker, and Walker, he picks up his first.
Dribble or the bounce pass going inside and just a little push off from behind as Walker tries to push Khan off of the spot where he wants the basketball just inside the lane.
They are so efficient on inbounds plays. Rush, another rainbow 3, his second 3 of the game.
Dominic Sutton wiped out in a pick that time.
What a block by Darrell Arthur. Kent thought he had a free lane to the basket, and Arthur came flying down the paint.
And how about how quickly Kansas State attacks even after a made the lead pass to Darren Kent? Kent thought he had a jam. Instead he got it knocked out of bounds.
Kent. Darren Kent got it knocked out by Clark Kent. Superman came flying through with his cape on. Darrell Arthur with a tremendous block there. 14-14 our score. Timeout taken by the Wildcats here, so Kansas seems to have settled down. You look at the numbers between Durant last year, who was the player of the year, 25.8 points per game. And then look at Beasley's numbers this year split with both points and rebounds. Different style of play, but boy, the numbers are eerily similar.
Yeah, they are very much similar. We're lucky in the Big 12 that we get to see these guys in successive years. Kevin Durant was more of a perimeter player who could go inside, feathery touch from long range. Michael Beasley, primarily a post player who can step outside. He can get behind that three-point line, but about 25 points per game, great shooting percentage, and also a double-digit average in rebounds per game.
He is the 4th leading scorer in the country, the top rebounder in the country, and this one tipped away. Here comes Robinson and Rush. Little two-man game, and Robinson gets it to go. Sutton thought he had drawn a charge.
Well, he did the right thing. He knew he was outnumbered, was in some real trouble. So step up, try to get in the way of one of the guys coming down the floor. See if you can get the charge.
Pulling, not this time. And Rush was there, making it one and done for K-State.
K-State, as soon as the shot goes up, they're releasing one player, occasionally two players, trying to take away the transition game from Kansas.
And Arthur hits from the top of the key. Another timeout for Kansas State. Boy, this game has spun on a dime, hasn't it? It was 11-6 once upon a time for Frank Martin's Wildcats, and now look at him.
Well, Frank Martin wanted his team to stay consistent, stay positive, attacking on the offensive end, and cover that three ball. Problem is there are so many weapons out there in blue jerseys from Kansas. Really hard to key on any one particular player. Kansas forces you to spread your defense.
Well, if you have a question about what's happening around the Big 12 or with your favorite team, email your questions to our Studio 66 analysts, Reed Geddes and Stacy King. Big 12 Studio at ESPN.com. Tune in to see your answer as they answer that on the air. Big 12 Studio at ESPN.com. So now what adjustments does Frank Martin have to make? It looks like the Jayhawks so efficient on offense right now they can score at will.
Well, they are scoring at will because they stopped turning the basketball over and they've gotten good looks every time down. Kansas State has lost some of their aggressiveness and quickness on defense, and also they're having a hard time running their offense. They're getting no penetration at all. Beasley's not getting many touches.
Split. The Jayhawks were 2 for their first 7. They're now 5 for their last 6 in this game, and a little full court pressure by the Jayhawks.
A little zone pressure by Kansas. Now they have pressed very little early on this season. So they show zone and the full court pressure and drop back into their man-to-man.
Stewart tries to drive it into the land of the Giants. Now back out to Kent. Kent shot so efficiently. And Sutton comes flying in.
Exactly what he did. Came crashing from out on the perimeter. Nobody got a body on him by the time he got near the rim. Had his strides all set, ready to explode off the floor. He got up over the top of Darrell.
And another basket by Sasha Khan, fouled by Kent. Sasha Khan with a spin move off the glass. And the Jayhawks have upped the ante again on the Wildcats.
Each year, food executives come to Grasse, France, to work with Roxanne. Here in this centuries-old town, Cargill creates flavors. And food companies come to collaborate with Cargill, creating unique tastes from thousands of rare flavors. Helped by Roxanne, an ingredient mixing robot, and a team of flavor experts. Food companies find the recipe for success. This is how Cargill works with customers.
These apple caramel bites look good, huh?
Yeah, I can't decide which I'm going to eat first, the apple caramel bag or the pudding that came with it.
Oh, no, it's not pudding. It's cinnamon caramel dipping sauce.
Oh, is that the flavor?
Oh, that's what it is.
Cinnamon caramel dipping sauce pudding.
No pudding, just cinnamon caramel dipping sauce.
Pudding.
Unless you're calling me pudding, stop saying it.
Apple Caramel Bites. New at Sonic. Bite-sized snacks of warm apple and caramel served with the cinnamon caramel dipping sauce. And stop in for happy hour. Half-price drinks and slushes every day from 2 to 4 p.m.
If it's your job to install it or tear it out, do it with the all-new C-Series skid steer and multi-terrain loaders from Caterpillar. Industry-leading comfort and performance. Buy or rent at your Cat dealer. C-Series. Cat tough in a compact size.
Call Martin Tractor for all your landscaping, construction, and agricultural needs.
From growing up in a service station to becoming one of the largest automobile dealers in the nation, it's all built on service and trust. I'm Ed Bozarth, your General Motors dealer. When it's time for you to buy a new automobile, think about what's important to you. Great selection, great value, and a dealer you can trust. Ed Bozarth Chevrolet. Thank you.
Well, as the Jayhawks huddle up in a 2-point lead, that last basket by Khan, they waved off. But the Jayhawks will have the ball and split. They've been able to go inside on some pick and roll. Let's go inside the play.
Well, you talk about inside the play. Kansas likes to run the sideline pick with their big man coming up. Several things they can do. First of all, you anticipate the pick if you're defending. Beaten on the baseline by Mario Chalmers right there. Show it again, same side of the floor. Just pick off that guard. And Brandon Rush goes in and puts it on the floor. From that position, if they defend the guard and the ball handler, the post player can either slip the pick and go straight in. He can roll, seal off the defender. He'll get the shot.
So the Jayhawks will inbound the balls. Underneath their own hoop. All the way out to Kahn. Look out for the lob inside on a play like this. That was tipped away by Sutton. That's not over and back.
Kansas State staying man-to-man. Now Frank Martin likes to change his defenses throughout the course of the game. Hadn't done it here tonight.
Pass inside, and Arthur stepped on the baseline. It belonged to K-State. The 5th turnover for the Jayhawks, and Blake Young shaken up.
But that's something that Kansas State can ill afford to have happen. Already with one player suspended on Andre Gilbert. They lose a long-reaching wing player. Now Blake Young, another one of their guards, figures to put in big minutes here tonight.
He was holding his hand, but then the trainer immediately put a towel over his right eye. Checking now for blood over there.
Gotten poked in the eye. It'll take a minute or two to get back into the ballgame. Kansas with total pressure on the inbounds pass. Now drops into their man-to-man.
It was off the foot of Kahn. It'll stay with K-State.
They really need to have Blake Young get back into this ballgame. He is their best on-ball defender. Having a little trouble defending that perimeter here tonight.
Extracurricular going on in the paint. On Sasha Kahn, his first foul. Only 2 team fouls on the Jayhawks this half. 3 team fouls on the Wildcats.
Kansas not contesting the inbounds pass. Russell Robinson playing in the middle of the floor, making sure nobody from the white jersey cuts through the lane.
He tries one. That one hit the side of the glass. Right there.
Again, the offensive glass work done by Kansas State really paying off. Billy Walker, nobody ever got a body on him. He took it right to the front edge of the rim.
Now Arthur, little fade away. Nope. And Walker with a rebound.
Arthur likes that little turnaround jump shot with a little fade to it. Touch, but couldn't get that one down.
That's out of bounds. It'll stay with K-State. Nice touch by Robinson. Look at our Big 12 leaders, brought to you by Chevy and your local Chevy dealers. Look at the Darnell Jackson. That's actually in the top 10 in the country field goal percentage, and Beasley right behind at 59%.
State still having a hard time getting the ball in the hands of Michael Beasley. Now they're going to run a little sideline pick. Those two guys played against each other last summer in the 19 and under game.
Teammates there. And a foul on Arthur. That'll be the second on Darrell Arthur. Decision to make for Bill Self. You leave Arthur in this game with 2 fouls here in the first half.
Game situation usually dictates that. With getting an even draw on the road right now, the score tied and better than 10 minutes left in the first half. Darrell get a little bit of a rest. Kansas has some depth at those front line positions.
Walker pulls up. Elevation by Billy Walker.
That is good quickness because Darnell Jackson does a nice job of sliding his feet on the perimeter on most cases, but Walker a whole lot quicker. You can see why Kansas State used him as a small forward early in the year.
K-State with 6 straight points. And that'll silence the crowd again, and we're even at 20.
What a luxury it is to have a player like Sharon Collins coming off the bench. Can be a scorer, can be a go-to guy. They're playing well this year for Kansas.
You think of another team where Sharon Collins will be coming off the bench?
In this team, it really doesn't make any difference to these guys.
Well, Billy Walker feeling it right now. He nails a 3.
It's taking on the feel of a heavyweight prize fight.
Yeah, it is.
Guys just going toe-to-toe and landed in one haymaker after another.
Now whistling a foul down low. Looks like they've got Bill Walker with a call, and that'll be 2 on Walker.
Now Frank Martin, he has a decision to make like Bill Self did a couple minutes ago. He's got power forward with 2 fouls on him right now. He's got a little issue with one of the officials right now saying his man got hooked and held. But the 2 fouls on Walker will stand.
Certainly the difference for Frank Martin is he doesn't have the kind of depth Bill Self has at that position. You take Walker out, that's a big part of your 1-2 punch.
Well, he is really a terrific athlete. They're going to get a player on the floor who can score, and Darren Kent, who has more experience, but certainly not the athleticism or the potential of a Bill Walker.
So Kent will check back in, a different type player altogether than Bill Walker. He's coming off his career best 11 points against Iowa State. He hit 3 threes in that contest. Missed badly at a couple of threes so far here tonight.
They have another similarity between these two teams, the way they put away conference opponents.
Robinson picks up his first.
Pullen gives them a spark at that guard position. Bounce pass to the wing and just a backdoor cut. He beats his man out front, takes it to the edge of the rim, gets 2 points, and he'll have a free throw. Pullen has never really played like a freshman here at Kansas State. He came in with a lot of confidence.
So now Pullen going to the line, a 71% free throw shooter. As you mentioned, Split, he started the first 9 games of the year. He has been very efficient of late. In his last 5 games, 20 assists and only 4 turnovers.
Kind of typical of this Kansas State team. They've been more efficient in league play than they were in the preseason. It took this team a little while to come together with so many first-year players and a first-year coach.
And a 5-point Kansas State lead. Excuse me, 4-point, 26-22 Wildcats. 4-point K-State advantage for Frank Martin, but playing now without Bill Walker.
Kansas State goes to zone, 1-3-1 half-court back. First time they've shown the half-court pressure. First time they've shown zone tonight. They drop into the 2-3.
In and out for Chalmers, no good. Chalmers, you talk about a great 3-point shooter, 48% on the year. Kent looking to Beasley. And knocked away from him, and Kahn pokes it out of bounds. Little Apple of Manhattan, our location tonight, Bramlage Coliseum, a place Jayhawks have never lost. 19 straight wins here, 24 straight wins overall in Manhattan for KU. One of the most incredible streaks in the nation in college basketball. With Paul Splittor watching Michael Beasley get his first points in the game. Timeout, Kansas.
Well, Beasley moving without the basketball that time. A little dump down pass from Darren Kent. Quick with that turnaround jump shot from the baseline. Sasha Khan gave him a little bit of room, and that's all the room Beasley needs. At 6'10", had a soft touch. He also fades away on that jump shot. No way to block that thing.
And we'll see if the streak does end tonight. As you mentioned, Split, that streak really means nothing to these players. None of them were even born when the streak started in 1984. You know, golf fans and club pros, not too early to start thinking about the 2008 ESPN National Golf Challenge. Log on to ESPNGolf.com to sign up your course as a host or to find a local qualifying site in your area. Be a part of the search for America's best twosome. A great twosome here at Kansas State with Walker and Beasley.
But when you saw Kansas State a year ago, you had a feeling that they were catching up to the Jayhawks, getting a little bit closer all the time, and then the way Kansas State has started off in conference play this year with a premier player like Michael Beasley, with Bill Walker coming back healthy again this year, thought you were drawn a little bit closer yet. We'll face off again the 1st of March over in Lawrence, just down the highway. Again, the half-court trap by Kansas State, 1-3-1 zone. Kansas likes to attack the baseline against zone defense.
12-4 run for the Wildcats. Take this 6-point advantage, their biggest lead of the game. Now inside, Stewart. No. Foul came first. No basket, no shot. Looks like foul on Blake Young, and look, he's got a little bit of a cut on that left eye.
Cut doctor went to work, didn't he?
Second foul on Young. So now Young has to join Mr. Walker on the bench.
Well, it's a little easier for a senior to play with 2 fouls. You expect those guys to be able to handle a situation like that a little bit better than a freshman would.
Again, right down the paint. And there's Roderick Stewart cleaning up. Count the basket, actually, from Mario Chalmers. They say it was goaltending, so Chalmers' basket is good.
And Dave, there is the quickness of the Kansas guard. They're putting the ball on the floor, the ability to slash into the middle of the defense on a dribble drive, taking it all the way to the front edge of the rim. Sometimes Sutton a little bit late with that block.
Well, what's that, 3 times now? The Jayhawks have been able to win with no weak side help?
I think it's 3 or 4 times with no help, and there have been a couple shots blocked besides that.
Sutton, he can't get it to go, and Rush was there for the rebound. Now Stewart back to Rush. 3-pointer. Nope, off target. Kahn fighting for the rebound, but a foul on Kahn. And that's his second. So 2 fouls on Sasha Kahn will get Darnell Jackson back into the game. Bill Self's having to juggle things with now Messrs. Kahn and Arthur with 2 fouls each. I believe Kahn in the game with 2 fouls. Arthur has been sitting for the last 3 minutes or so.
So Bill Walker on the bench for Kansas State. Terrell Arthur on the bench for Kansas. Sasha Kahn's going to be asked to play with his 2 fouls. One of the reasons he's out there, he is the best post defender and their strongest rebounder.
And giving it up to Beasley with Kahn guarding him.
And an isolation for Beasley right there. Had the entire side of the floor to work with.
And a travel on the part of Sutton. Frank Martin yelling at Sutton to hang on to the ball, and we're back after this from your friends at Phillips 66.
Your car works hard for you. Give it the fuel it wants. The hard-working gas from Phillips 66, specially formulated to clean fuel injectors, reduce emissions, and above all, help maximize mileage with every tank. Keep your car satisfied and help maximize mileage with Phillips 66, hard-working gas.
When we have new Asian garlic shrimp and new fire grilled tequila lime shrimp, not to mention Red Lobster classics like shrimp scampi and hand-breaded shrimp, it's not fair to make you choose just one. So we won't. Right now, pair the 2 that you like best together. From our new creations to classic favorites. All served with warm Cheddar Bay biscuits and fresh salad. For a short time only at Red Lobster. Come see what's fresh today.
Before I started college courses, I charted these courses. See, we're on course, on track.
Before I got my electronics business underway, I got these underway.
Bridge, this is main control.
The Navy got me the money I need for college.
And gave me an accelerated course to my business.
Before I start my own practice out there, I'll get the practice I need here in the Navy.
Accelerate your life.
Guess what? I got paid for my A's at Sunflower Bank. I gotta show this to my friends.
It pays to get A's at Sunflower Bank. Each year, we draw 5 student report card winners at every Sunflower Bank and give them $10 for every A on their report card. Bring your most recent report card to any Sunflower Bank and enter to win.
Check it out. I got paid for my grades.
Also, when you switch your checking to Sunflower Bank, you could earn up to $100 for you and your school and give back to your school with your check card. Ask us how.
If you're the parent of that Wildcat fan, you can save some money here if the Jayhawks lose for the first time ever at Bramlage Coliseum. These students were camped out yesterday starting at noon, braving the cold temperatures, almost 800 strong. And then earlier today, Michael Beasley and the rest of these Wildcats went out and delivered pizza. Very, very hungry group. Phillips 66 proud to be the presenting sponsor of Big 12 basketball. Next time you're on empty, fill up with Phillips 66 gasoline, specially formulated to clean fuel injectors, increase performance, and above all, help maximize mileage. Phillips 66 hard-working gas. And the Jayhawks with the ball.
Kansas State guards now backing off a little bit out on the perimeter, giving a little room to the Kansas ball handler.
Again, trying to draw the charge from Arthur. No whistle. And the Wildcats now see their 6-point lead diminished to 2. Back into Beasley. Double team. Beasley sealed off. He's only 1 for 4 from the field so far. And now a whistle and a foul. This will be called on, is it Arthur? It is, and that's number 3 on Darrell Arthur. No sooner did he get into the game, and he'll probably have to leave again.
That's because of the pressure that Kansas State has put in on that offensive glass. Arthur was never in good position to get that rebound, reached in across the top, and came away with the foul.
So Darrell Arthur, who has 6 first-half points, he has to leave, and Bill Self has a little discussion with one of the officials. One of the fears for the K-State faithful was that Beasley might get in foul trouble in this first half. He has not, but KU has done a good job of keeping Beasley from scoring.
Cole Aldrich now on the floor. He'll draw the man-to-man responsibility against Beasley, but he'll get some help with the double team from Jackson.
Walker back in there. He has a dozen first-half points, but he's playing with 2 fouls, and now a turnover by Walker.
Walker scored a dozen points in 9 minutes before picking up his second foul.
There's a score from Columbia where Missouri, playing without 5 of their players, all suspended by Mike Anderson, and Nebraska looking for their first Big 12 win. They have a 4-point lead in Columbia.
Nebraska's lost a couple games at home.
Collins pulls up. That's wide left. Aldrich kept it alive, but Rush was out of bounds. Six turnovers apiece. Self trying to encourage his team here on the road, trailing by 2. Give Collins a rest. Mario Chalmers will check back in for KU.
Kansas likes to go to a 5-guard rotation, 5 perimeter players and 3 post players. Aldrich now working one of those post positions, man-to-man against Beasley. Got to figure Beasley's going to get some touches here going against another first-year player.
Very talented players, Aldrich and Beasley. Head-to-head now in the middle. Walker, that 3 was halfway down and then back out again. Robinson was pulling set. Yes, he was. A foul on Robinson, his second.
Boy, and that's terrific defense by Pullen right there. The Jayhawks attacking quickly. Thought they were going to beat everybody down the floor. And look at Pullen hustling, trying to get in a good defensive position. Now, he was moving, but he had enough of his body in front of the ball handler to draw that whistle.
Well, he really got sandwiched in between Robinson and Cole Aldrich. Foul will put Kansas State in the bonus. He's already there with 18 fouls on the Wildcats. Easily turning into a perimeter player.
And Aldrich going out on the floor with it. Looking off a little bit, trying to take away that dribble drive first.
Beasley. Aldrich stood his ground.
Beasley got that ball pretty deep. He was in pretty close to the hoop.
Quick ball movement gives Chalmers a 3. Nails it. Big bucket by Mario Chalmers, and the Jayhawks back in front.
And Chalmers knocked to the floor after he took that shot. Concentration's there. He's keyed on the front of the rim. Now Beasley from the corner. For the touch he's got. Wow.
Feathery touch for a big man. Chalmers knifes himself in there. Walker, uh-oh. That's an elbow by Walker in his 3rd foul. Left shaking his head as Walker goes back to the bench.
Well, the drive is there because Beasley is well out on the floor, so the shot blocker not around. Walker, strong rebound trying to clear the area. Catches Chalmers above the left eye. Knocked him right to the floor. That's a pretty easy call for the official.
Yeah, that really almost could be called flagrant. That was a high elbow to the eye of Chalmers, and now a lob inside to Aldrich. Aldrich able to get it back and then travel with it. 7 turnovers now for the Jayhawks.
Pace on the turnovers has actually slowed down a little bit. They had 4 turnovers in the first 3 minutes, so doing a better job of taking care of the basketball over the last 7 or 8 minutes. step out on the floor. He can shoot that shot, even though he's 6'10".
Inside again, Beasley. Rush right there.
And look at the blue jerseys lurking in the area as soon as Beasley's going to make a move to the rim.
Beasley now 2 for 7 from the field. What a nice pass from Chalmers.
Think about Brandon Rush. He can go ahead and make that move, Dave, because he knows his teammates will find him. Kansas so unselfish with the basketball. Again, keep the ball alive if you're the ball handler. A little dump down pass to Rush, breaking in behind the defense. Kansas last weekend had 32 field goals, had 25 assists in that ball game against Nebraska. Great teamwork.
And they won 84-49. Now Chalmers, he goes to the bench with his first foul. Numbers on Chalmers for the year. In this game, already 7 points after scoring only 3 against Nebraska last Saturday. 1-1 for Pullen, and he'll get the bonus.
Kansas has so much balance, Dave. They really don't have to score to have a good day. You mentioned Chalmers, just 3 points, but he also had 7 assists, 3 blocks, no turnovers.
Pullen's hit all 3 free throws tonight. Only 3 free throws the Wildcats have shot.
Really got to be impressed with the Kansas State freshmen. They are stepping up and playing at the highest level here tonight. Aldridge does a great job of setting solid picks for the Jayhawks.
Tipped out. Last touch by Collins. Boy, good pressure by Clint Stewart.
Brandon Rush got himself in a little bit of trouble right there, Dave, because he picked up his dribble in the open floor. Keep the dribble alive. You keep the attack alive. You pick up that dribble, you're just asking for problems.
Clint Stewart, one of those guys that just seems to do the little things that help K-State win.
Well, he's got average quickness for a point guard at this level, but he does a terrific job of handling the basketball. He has now become a glue guy for Kansas State. Maybe a little bit of a question of how much he could do earlier on in his career, but enough experience right now. He's a quality frontline player.
Usually thought about a 3, just hit one moments ago. Now Stewart. Beasley will take a 3. Got a 3-pointer for Beasley, his 2nd straight.
And he got that one down with 2 hands in his face. Oh, Aldridge had one of them. Darnell Jackson was also taking a run at it.
And now an offensive foul on Aldridge, working for position in the paint. So Michael Beasley starting to come to life for the Wildcats. Beasley with 2 3-pointers in the game.
If you want to make your hard-earned dollar go a whole lot farther, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has the low prices guaranteed to save you money. Get ready to get the best price possible on all the parts and accessories you need with our ready-to-go low price guarantee. Nobody can beat our prices on just about anything for your car. So when you want to get more for your money while getting more out of your car, get to Advance Auto Parts for our everyday ready-to-go low price guarantee.
Ready in advance. Country steak and egg toaster, huh?
No, man. Country fried steak, egg with gravy?
We're having steak and egg for breakfast,
I know.
pal.
This is it. We've made it.
Yes.
Now we can just sit and relax.
Yep. Enjoy the look from the mountain.
Country steak and egg toaster sandwich. New at Sonic. Thick
It's all downhill from here, though, right?
Country steak and egg toaster sandwich. New at Sonic. Thick Texas toast, egg, country fried steak, and gravy. Grab one anytime because Sonic serves up a full menu all day and so at 6 a.m.
Shelter Insurance has covered a lot of miles and a lot of cars and drivers since 1946. We like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Seek shelter today.
You left?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford.
You two, get in.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck. Visit ChevyHeartland.com for more information.
All season long, Champion Apparel, showcasing the tradition and history of the Big 12 Conference. Take a look at the tradition of the Wabash Cannonball. The great traditions here at Kansas State. Back in 1968, Old Nichols Hall burned to the ground. Phil Hewitt was then the head director of music here. And the folklore goes that the only piece of music saved from that fire was the music of Wabash Cannonball. They played it later that day at a Kansas State basketball game, and it has become a tradition here ever since.
Great atmosphere here in Bramlage tonight. Sold out house.
Beasley again, quick move, tough shot. And the rebound fought for, coming over near us, and it will stay with Kansas State. Michael Beasley 2 for 2 from three-point range, but only 1 for 7 from two-point range.
Kansas State continues to work hard to get him the basketball. They're trying to run a high-low with Darren Kent. Kent up high, looking inside. One of those big guys out of the middle of the floor with you. You get a little extra space for Beasley to work.
Now three-pointer. Not going to go. Jackson's got the rebound. 2 Wildcats on the deck.
And that means Kansas has numbers.
They get it to Rush. Rush, no, but there's Roderick Stewart with the putback.
And there are those numbers, getting a wide open shot, then swarming the boards. It took the K-State players a little longer to get back defensively, and Kansas able to take advantage of that.
Stops a 5-0 run for the Wildcats. Now back to Beasley. They show double team, and then Beasley telling everyone to clear out. And then he walked into a double team. Thought he was fouled, but he traveled.
Kansas with a numbers advantage on their last possession. Quickly to the offensive end, find the open shooter. Defense comes out to challenge the shot, leaves that rebound area. Roderick Stewart finds himself all alone right next to the hoop.
A tightly played first half. We have had 6 ties, 5 lead changes.
Kansas with a small lineup on the floor right now. 4 out, 1 in look. A lot of room to put the ball on the floor and find a driving line.
Charged by Rush. And that'll be his first foul.
Offensive foul, number 25 to Kansas, Brandon Rush. That's his first and the 10th team foul on the Jayhawks.
19 remaining here, first half. Kansas State got off to a quick lead. This game 11-4 early on. Kansas came storming back, took a lead, and it's been a seesaw battle ever since. Now Beasley again, quick step, and then here comes the double team. Roderick Stewart knocks it out of bounds. But Beasley is getting the full attention of the Jayhawks here tonight.
Well, he's drawing a big man out on the perimeter with him, and Darnell Jackson, who's normally very quick at sliding his feet. Watch how quickly he gets beat. Beasley, that first dribble is around that corner. Roderick Stewart got a hand on the basketball, touched it last. Not enough contact to blow the whistle from the official.
Beasley doing a little house cleaning.
He's into the ball game, isn't he?
He do windows? I don't know, man. He does
I don't
it
think
all.
we can afford it.
Wow, look at that, though. 1 for 7 from two-point range.
Well, if you're Kansas State, you don't think that's going to continue throughout the night. And if you're Kansas, you're pretty sure it's not going to happen the rest of the evening.
Fade away, no good. There's Stewart. Roderick Stewart was knocked off the ball, and Clint Stewart picked up the loose change.
Earlier in that possession, good adjustment by Kansas State. They've been able to stay away from the traps out on the perimeter. Ran into one that time, but was able to back out of it, so Kansas couldn't get the steal.
And this time the ball will go to KU. The rebounding edge has been in favor of K-State. Bill Self's team has been out-rebounded 16-13 in this first half.
And half of those rebounds have been on the offensive end for Kansas State. So 8 offensive boards. So one of the big differences in this game is second chance opportunities for the Cats.
And that's one of the things that Beasley and Walker and the rest of these Cats live on. Those second chance points.
Well, Beasley, about a third of his rebounds are on the offensive end. Kansas has 3 different frontline guys that have a third of their rebounds offensively. So both these teams attack the offensive glass.
Nice little floater off the glass for Brandon Rush, who's by far and away the leading scorer with a dozen points for KU. Walker has matched that dozen for K-State, but Walker's on the bench with 3 fouls.
Alone now on the floor for Kansas State. Big body inside. That allows Beasley to step out on the floor a little bit.
Stewart charged in. That's an offensive charge as Roderick Stewart was right there to greet him.
All the Kansas swing players can handle the basketball. A little pump fake right there. Step by Cologne. Cologne's not anywhere near quick enough to stay up with a Brandon Rush on the perimeter. In fact, a lot of times Cologne hits the floor. Kansas State will go into his zone to kind of protect him in the middle.
Especially when he was flying at Rush like that, out of control. It's an easy play for Rush to get around it. So here comes the zone you were talking about.
The 3-2 zone.
Three-pointer off, no good. And a scramble for the ball. Who's got it? And a tie-up here. Kansas will get it on the arrow. Bad scrum for the ball, and they're still looking for who had control. Beasley saying he had the ball and called time, but they're going to call a tie-up, and there goes Beasley back to work.
Darren Kent was trying to get that timeout as well for Kansas State as soon as Beasley thought he had possession. Look for Kansas State to go straight up zone now with this ball coming in from underneath their basket.
Beasley cleaning everybody's clock and cleaning the floor and cleaning the glass, and I guess he's just Mr. Clean.
He just wants to keep this ball game rolling. He likes it. He's into it.
Yeah, he is. His front court mate, Bill Walker, now just turned into a cheerleader. He's sitting over on that bench. He's been there for a while. He picked up 3 fouls in this first half, along with a dozen points.
Ed Ferry, the official over at the scores table.
Again, the tie-up with the arrow. Kansas with the ball. Brad Ferry wants to go over and tell Bill Self what they have decided. And Bill shook his head, said that's okay. With 41 seconds remaining.
Kansas State's playing man-to-man on that inbounds pass. So a little bit of a surprise there. And they'll stay man-to-man. Stewart against Russell Robinson out front.
5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here in the first half. Tough passing inside and a foul on Kent. That's 2 on Darren Kent.
Kansas going with that sideline pick and roll action again, just packing the ball inside. Now Kansas State defended from the inside out. That's a tough pass in traffic. But Darnell Jackson took it up against Darren Kent and drew the whistle.
But the Jayhawks have gotten good minutes out of Roderick Stewart this half, with Terrell Arthur sitting with 3 fouls.
Roderick Stewart, let's not forget he was a starter earlier on this year when Brandon Rush was coming back from his knee surgery. But Roderick Stewart had a great preseason, a lot of minutes early on in the year. Could start for a lot of schools in this Big 12 conference.
The problems for the Jayhawks, probably the only real Achilles heel of this KU team so far this year, was 66% as a team from the line, although better in Big 12 play, 70%.
As good as they were against Nebraska over the weekend, they struggled from the charity stripe, went 11 for 21 against the Huskers.
In this game, 3 for 4 for KU. 2-point contest. You see the time remaining in this first half. Poland had to give it up.
Stewart is matched up against Beasley. He give away about 6 inches a night.
Beasley. Long go. Kent fouled with 0.8 seconds remaining.
This Kansas State team starting to show some of the toughness of their head coach, Frank Martin, just battling hard on the glass, easily able to get the first shot over the top of Roderick Stewart. Kent just staying with the offensive board work. There's Beasley with the jump shot off the front edge of the rim. Kent keeps it alive, takes it right back up. Looks like Sharon Collins will draw that foul.
Wildcats lead largely contributed in this first half split to the offensive work on the glass. Can't hit that free throw. Wildcats most likely are going to have a lead unless the Jayhawks hit a miracle shot at the buzzer.
Kent has struggled from the free throw line all season long. He can step out and hit the 3-ball. Struggles from the free throw line.
Missed them both. And throwing it up at the buzzer. Jackson well off target, and they do it. Kansas State, though, they go off into their locker room with a 2-point advantage over the number 2 team in the country. The Jayhawks, who have won all 20 games this year and all 19 here at Bramlage Coliseum, trailing the Wildcats by a pair.
As you can see, this isn't your typical Midwestern farm. The reason lies 6,000 miles away in Japan, where a producer of specialty eggs needed corn for feed grown to precise standards. Cargill identified the producer's needs, then introduced an Illinois farmer to grow the exact corn needed and developed a system to ship it separately, connecting the farmer with a Japanese customer who was very appreciative. This is how Cargill works with customers.
You're up.
Nah, you go ahead.
All right.
Impressive. Where'd you learn that? Some fancy golf school? Hey, how'd you learn to do that? What are you, taking lessons? Come on, what's your secret? You got your own pro?
Yep, got a bunch of them.
The key to better golf is the best instruction, and Golf Digest is the only place you can learn from the game's hottest pros. Ernie Els, Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods. Call today, and for just $14.97, you'll get 12 issues of Golf Digest with easy-to-follow techniques, equipment reviews, pocket tips, and much more. Subscribe now, and you'll get this DVD free. Renowned instructor Jim McLean demonstrates practice plans that will help improve your game.
What do you mean you got a bunch of them?
Here, order your own.
Call now and order Golf Digest, 800-543-6200. That's 800-543-6200.
If it's your desire to become a chef, you can do it. If it's your dream to own your own restaurant, you can make it happen. Call an affiliate of Le Cordon Bleu Schools North America to discover how. Le Cordon Bleu affiliated schools have many successful graduates working right now as culinary professionals. You can be next, and you don't even have to know how to cook to get started. Bring your passion to learn. Call now for a complimentary CD-ROM.
Call 800-980-0248. That's 800-980-0248. Call now.
We welcome you back to the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas. We're at the half. Kansas State, the number 24 team in the land, leading number 2 Kansas 38-36. Hi again, everyone. Along with Paul Splittorf, I'm Dave Armstrong. Good spirited first half by both of these clubs, and each team with one guy in foul trouble. Arthur with 3 and Walker with 3 for K-State.
And Kansas State doesn't have the kind of depth that Kansas has, so maybe they've weathered the storm a little bit better. A couple things stand out about Kansas State. One, and we talked about it late in the first half, their board work on the offensive end. Half their boards have been on the offensive end. Those are the hustle and attitude numbers. And also the Kansas State guards have been at their pocket pick just once, and that's a real strength of the Jayhawks. Number of steals they get. They average about 10 per ball game, but just 1 steal in the first 20 minutes tonight. K-State guards have done well.
Beasley has gotten some points in this first half, but he's had to work hard for them.
Yeah, hasn't had really many good touches. You can tell Kansas has really worked hard trying to take him out of the game. He's looking at 2 and 3 defenders every time he touches the basketball. And Kansas State is being kind of creative, setting him up in different parts of the floor, forcing Kansas to make adjustments.
Well, this rivalry between KU and K-State started way back in 1907. Let's take a look at this great rivalry brought to you by Sonic.
The people of Kansas love to beat Kansas State, and the people of Kansas State are dying to have the opportunity to start beating the people of Kansas.
It's a big deal, it's for our fans. A lot of people, put the season on. If you beat KU, then you had a great season.
A lot of people, doubt our ability to beat that team. And, a lot of them have a genuine hate for that school. And, it's not me. I don't hate KU. I don't hate the players. But a lot of people have, different expectations for that team as they have, different than what they have for us.
And a lot of people here wondering, will this be the day that the streak has ended? Right now, it's KU K-State fans kind of in close proximity to one another. I'm sure they're having a lot of fun with a close game at the half. 38-36 K-State at the half. Our classroom champ this week brought to you by Phillips 66. When it comes to convenience and value, it's at the top of his class. And Jayhawk Senior Center Sasha Khan, a 3.24 GPA in computer science. He's been a first-team academic all Big 12 each of the last 2 years. Our congratulations to Sasha Khan, the Phillips 66 classroom champion. So with the Wildcats 11 offensive boards in the first half and a 2-point lead, we're back after this from your friends at Phillips 66.
Enter the $66,000 free throw giveaway from Phillips 66.
Game on. The doctor is in and he's about to operate.
You could win a chance to shoot 4 free throws at the Phillips 66 Men's Big 12 Basketball Championship in Kansas City. Each shot is worth big money. Sink all 4 and win $66,000. So get to practice and get to your nearest Phillips 66 store to register.
Whatever.
How y'all liking your country steak and egg toaster?
Are you talking to more than one person?
Talking to y'all.
Why are you saying y'all?
Well, it's my country steak and egg toaster. I've totally gone country since I had it.
Oh.
This will give me a lot of energy so I can go out roping dogies.
Do you know what that means, or?
What's roping dogies?
Lassoing cattle.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Y'all can go do that.
Oh, okay.
Country steak and egg toaster sandwich. New at Sonic. Thick Texas toast, egg, country fried steak, and gravy. Grab one anytime because Sonic serves up a full menu all day and is open at 6 a.m.
There's nothing I like better than beating Connecticut.
There's nothing I like better than beating Tennessee.
Except beating breast cancer. Today, the only opponent we care about is beating breast cancer. And I'm asking you to help in the fight.
Join ESPN and the Women's Basketball Coaches Association and donate to the V Foundation for the KYOW WBCA Cancer Fund.
For more information,
visit jimmyv.org or call 1-800-4JIMMY-V.
Healthcare providers tell us all the time they really like working with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas. They know their claims are going to be paid timely. They know their claims are going to be paid accurately. We have 98% of providers contracting in the state, which is the largest provider network. So our members don't have to worry. Statewide, nationwide, worldwide, they know in that card they're going to have access to the healthcare services that they need. I'm Rusty Doty, Professional Relations Manager, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas.
Kansas shot just 53%. I shouldn't say just 53%. They shot 53%, while K-State shot just 40%. Yet it's the Wildcats, because of 11 offensive rebounds, who lead 38-36 at halftime. Take a look now at our drive to Kansas City, brought to you by Chevrolet, an American Revolution. Of course, Big 12 tournament this year at the brand spanking new Sprint Center. Who will be on top when the season ends? The Jayhawks are three-peat champions of the Big 12 Conference. Kansas State giving them a run for their money, so far unbeaten this year, with Baylor, Texas, Oklahoma now back in the race with Blake Griffin back playing again for the Sooners. Take a look now at our Phillips 66 Players of the Week. Baylor's junior guard Curtis Gerald's had a career-high 36 points, including 20 free throws in Baylor's 5 overtime win at Texas A&M. And we mentioned Blake Griffin, the Sooners' sensational freshman. He is back after just 13 days out with a knee injury. He scored 17 points with 15 rebounds in just 22 minutes of play last Saturday at Baylor. Those are our Phillips 66 Players of the Week. Right now, who will be the players of this game? The Jayhawks, led by Brandon Rush with a dozen. Bill Walker has 12 for K-State.
You're up.
Nah, you go ahead.
All right.
Impressive. Where'd you learn that? Some fancy golf school? Hey, how'd you learn to do that? What are you, taking lessons?
Come on, what's your secret? You got your own pro?
Yep, got a bunch of them.
The key to better golf is the best instruction, and Golf Digest is the only place you can learn from the game's hottest pros. Ernie Els, Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods. Call today, and for just $14.97, you'll get 12 issues of Golf Digest with easy-to-follow techniques, equipment reviews, pocket tips, and much more. Subscribe now, and you'll get this DVD free. Renowned instructor Jim McLean demonstrates practice plans that will help improve your game.
What do you mean you got a bunch of them?
Here, order your own.
Call now to order Golf Digest, 800-543-6200. That's 800-543-6200.
The market goes up. You make money. The market goes down. You make money. It's good to be a Barron's reader. Barron's. See what others don't. No one looks at the market with a more insightful eye than Barron's, offering timely coverage of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, everything the independent investor needs to stay informed. Subscribe now and you'll also receive Barron's Online with its daily columns, in-depth market analysis, and powerful tools like the Stock Screener and the Stock Grader. Get 13 weeks of Barron's and Barron's Online, all for only $39.
Call now, toll-free, 800-334-6600. That's 800-334-6600.
Well, it's Kansas State leading Kansas at the half here at Bramlage Coliseum, 38-36. These young Wildcat fans have never been able to watch their Wildcats win here at Bramlage Coliseum. In fact, you'd have to be at least 20 years of age to have been able to do that. 19 straight wins for KU here, 24 overall in Manhattan. A lot of K-State people feel like this is their best chance they've had in a long time.
Kind of interesting. It seems like when Kansas State has their best teams, Kansas also has their best teams. So the bar just keeps getting raised a little bit higher.
All right, let's take a look at those first half highlights brought to you by Shelter Insurance.
And there were so many highlights in the first half. Look at the work of Brandon Rush. Buries a three early in the half. But then the versatility, he's able to put the ball on the drive and take it on the glass, the layup right there. And the no-look pass from Mario Chalmers. Brandon Rush, 5 of 7 from the floor, has 12 points at the break. And then the work of Billy Walker. He only played 11 minutes because of foul trouble in the first half, but a strong dunk, three-point shot. He's active on the offensive end. And Michael Beasley is 3 of 10 from the floor, but he has 8 points, 3 rebounds, and a couple assists in the first 20 minutes.
Now Shelter Insurance for your auto, home, and life. Seek shelter today. Well, who will stay out of foul trouble in the second half? Both Walker with 3 fouls for K-State and Arthur with 3 fouls for KU as you look at those first half numbers.
So you got to wonder when Kansas was trailing at halftime when they shot 54%. Well, a big part of that was the offensive rebounds that Kansas State was able to turn in. K-State buries 7 threes in the first half. Certainly that's a big factor. Points in the paint. Kansas is trying to attack the paint, and because they've been able to nail down Beasley a little bit, Kansas State just 10 points in close. The bench points pretty much even, but K-State with a slight advantage.
All right, the Wildcats with a slim 2-point advantage, getting all set to go here in the second half. We'll be back to give it to you from Bramlage Coliseum in a moment with the Wildcats leading it 38-36.
For breakfast, try Chick-fil-A's tasty chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or breakfast burritos.
Own a timeshare, turn it into cash.
Timeshares only got us our full asking price before our next monthly payment was due.
Own a campground membership, turn it into cash.
Timeshares only sold our campground membership fast and for the price we wanted.
Call now and we'll send you absolutely free this information kit, including 10 secrets to buying, selling, and renting timeshares. Timeshares Only is the nation's largest, #1 most successful timeshare agency.
We represent properties from the biggest names in the timeshare industry.
When it comes to selling, renting, or buying timeshares, no one comes close to Timeshares Only.
With over $2 billion of timeshares sold in the last 6 months, now's the perfect time to sell, rent, or buy. And no one sells more timeshares than we do.
You owe it to yourself to work with the best. Timeshares Only, the most trusted name in timeshares.
Call 800-464-3216 to sell, rent, or buy your timeshare and get your free information kit. Don't delay. Call 800-464-3216.
Hey, we need some driving music.
Okay. All right, this one.
When the mood for something spicy hits you, check out McDonald's latest snack sensation, the Chipotle Barbecue Snack Wrap. Juicy all-white chicken breast meat and a smoky sweet sauce with a kick.
Tonight's game brought to you by Phillips 66. Gasoline specially formulated to clean fuel injectors, increase performance, and above all, help maximize mileage. By Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealer. By Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life, seek shelter today. Well, at the half here, it's Kansas State leading. Don't forget, all part of a big week in Kansas City, the Phillips 66 Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship at Municipal Auditorium in downtown KC. For tickets, you see the number on your screen or visit www.ticketmaster.com. With Paul Splittorff, I'm Dave Armstrong. We are here at Bramlage Coliseum where Nicole Oldie, Kendra Wecker, two great stars for the Wildcat women's team, who, by the way, are ranked number 18 in the country and 6-0 in conference play. In fact, the Wildcats and Gonzaga, the only two schools in the country that have both the men and the women unbeaten in conference play.
A lot of good things happening here in Kansas State this winter. A good first half for the Cats as they lead by 2 headed into the second half.
Well, you would think that if you're KU, you're saying, let's keep doing a good job on that man, Michael Beasley. His points really came from the outside. Bill Walker starts the second half on the bench with 3 fouls. KU also would like to do a better job on the offensive glass. Kansas State, they just want to shoot better. Only 40% in that first half.
Kansas State will continue to look for Beasley every time down here in the second half. Ken is a good passer for out on the perimeter. He's a good shooter from out on the perimeter, so they can put extra heat on that K-State offense.
Now Robinson with rush and with fat man Darnell Jackson. Wow.
Darnell Jackson thought he was going to be a trailer on that play. Ends up with the dunk in that 3-on-1 break. Kansas had just 1 steal in that first half. An unusually low number for them. First possession of the second half, they get their second steal of the night.
But just like that, we start all over again. Tied at 38. The 7th tie of this game. Now Beasley. And a whistle and a tie-up. A foul inside on Jackson.
Jayhawks so good with the steals. Russell Robinson, the point guard. You figure it's going to be Robinson rush on the 2-man break, but the pass goes deep to Darnell Jackson, who's trailing it. So reward the big fella for getting out and running the floor.
We're going to say here that that was a shooting violation, and they're going to send Beasley to the line. Beasley, a 74% free throw shooter. Updated on what's going on in Columbia tonight. Look at that at the half. Missouri, that's a game effort on the part of the Tigers, who are missing 5 players, all suspended by Mike Anderson. And of course, they're going to Stefan Hanna for maybe the rest of this year, out 4 to 6 weeks.
Missouri down to 6 scholarship players.
Wow.
The suspensions that they're taking on this week.
And 2 free throws by Beasley give him double figures again. He's been in double figures in every game but 1 this year.
The ballgame's been tied 7 times. There have been 6 lead changes.
Robinson, he forced his way inside, and then Kahn can't get the offensive stick back.
One of the things Kansas did well early in the first half was the dribble drive of their guards, really attacking the Kansas State defense. They opened the second half here trying to do the same thing.
Bill Self really giving it to one of the officials for not calling any contact on the drive by Robinson. Beasley rejected by Kahn. On with 28 blocks this year. Beasley goes after him again and then has it stripped away. Beasley back out to Stewart. Almost stripped from him. A mad scramble for the ball. Blake Young. That won't go. Sutton, no, and Kahn finally clears the glass for KU.
How good was Blake Young in that last possession for Kansas State? 2 different times. He kept the possession alive. Now he's got a board.
Huge board by Blake Young. 1 and done as Robinson can't hit from 3-point range. The Jayhawks now 3 for 10 from outside the perimeter.
Aaron Kent, every time he touches that basketball, is looking inside for Beasley. He's quarterback. He's looking like a quarterback, looking to find his receiver. And a tough shot from Beasley.
How did he do that? A 4-point Kansas State lead. 4 straight points by the Wildcats. And this crowd comes to life again.
There's that sideline pick for Kansas again, well defended by the Cats.
And a blocking foul by Kent as he was trying to seal the baseline. That's a 3rd foul on Darren Kent.
Kansas State using their big guy Darren Kent as a passer. The entry pass over the top of the defense, the reverse hook shot underneath the backboard by Beasley, and a soft touch. Always under control, about as smooth as they come.
Picked off by Sutton, then he lost the handle. And a little bit too excited. This ESPN Plus game brought to you by Whataburger, just like you like it. This game is just like we like it.
Pretty important possessions for Kansas right here. Already trailing by 4. Kansas State with a lot of energy starting out this second half.
Little dipsy-do by Collins that won't go.
Once again, Kansas guards able to put the ball on the floor and get into the middle of the defense. Just can't make the shot.
Well, they're not finishing. Now Beasley again. Triple team Beasley. That was blocked. Then Stewart. In a fight for the rebound. A tie-up. The ball will go to the Jayhawks.
Every time Beasley makes a turn, he sees nothing but blue jerseys. You could take a Kansas team picture in that defensive stand right there.
And he is getting some attention. 4 for 13 from the field, Beasley. Now Collins. Did he walk? He did. 12 turnovers for the Jayhawks.
Kansas has forced Beasley to play some defense tonight, and he hasn't committed a foul yet.
Bill Self is really upset with all the officials in this contest right now, thinking that they're letting play inside go and no calls. And Beasley the benefit of the doubt inside.
Remember, Kansas State continues to play without Bill Walker. He's still over in their bench, saddled with fouls.
And Kent playing with 3. Beasley. Walker, a cheerleader, cheering on Beasley. 6 straight points for K-State. And a timeout for KU. So Michael Beasley leading the charge with Walker on the bench. It's Beasley with 14, and we're back after this from your friends at Phillips 66.
Make a U-turn as soon as possible. Make a U-turn as soon as possible.
Okay.
Turn right in 500 feet.
Where are you taking
Turn
me?
right.
But
Turn
I did make a...
Turn
Okay,
right.
I'm supposed to...
Turn right. Turn right.
Phillips 66.
Right.
Listen to your car. It'll tell you it wants the hard-working gas from Phillips 66, specially formulated to clean fuel injectors, reduce emissions, and above all, help maximize mileage with every tank. Make your car very happy and help maximize mileage with Phillips 66, hard-working gas.
For breakfast, try Chick-fil-A's tasty chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or breakfast burritos.
Each year, food executives come to Grasse, France to work with Roxanne. Here in this centuries-old town, Cargill creates flavors. And food companies come to collaborate with Cargill, creating unique tastes from thousands of rare flavors. Helped by Roxanne, an ingredient mixing robot, and a team of flavor experts. Food companies find the recipe for success. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Need a lift?
Yeah.
Hop in. Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford. You too? Get in. Chevy Silverado. This is our truck. Visit ChevyHeartland.com for more information.
welcome you back to Bramlage Coliseum. Chalmers fouled inside, that on Clint Stewart. And Chalmers is still down holding his left wrist. Second foul on Stewart.
Kansas guards really trying to attack that Kansas State defense. Sasha Khan came up that time and set a pick out on the perimeter, letting Chalmers get around him. And then Chalmers just lowering that shoulder, headed down the lane, forcing the defense to step up and stop him. Stewart did it, boy, big-time contact there.
And they didn't give Chalmers a shooting situation there. Bill Self was screaming about that as well. It looked like he was putting the ball up as the contact was being made.
Kansas guards on the dribble weave right now. There's the attack.
And a foul inside. Is this on Beasley? No, it's not. It's not on Beasley. So that's a break. It's on Sutton instead. First one on Sutton, and Kansas State keeping the Jayhawks at arm's length.
When we have new Asian garlic shrimp and new fire-grilled tequila lime shrimp, not to mention Red Lobster classics like shrimp scampi and hand-breaded shrimp, it's not fair to make you choose just one. So we won't. Right now, pair the two that you like best together. From our new creations to classic favorites. All served with warm Cheddar Bay biscuits and fresh salad. For a short time only at Red Lobster. Come see what's fresh today.
Experience is an excellent teacher. And what over 45 years of experience has taught Oppenheimer funds is the strength of a balanced approach and the effectiveness of a diversely skilled team. Valuable lessons that guide us through an ever-changing financial landscape. Oppenheimer funds, the right way to invest.
Carefully consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call your advisor for a prospectus with this and other fund information. Read it carefully before investing.
Hi, folks. Jerry O'Neill, Continental Siding Supply. You know, January and February is our slow time of the year, but I have 35 crews of factory-trained installers that I have to keep busy, because next spring when I really need them like blood, I don't want them digging swimming pools or putting roofs on. I need them working here for me, putting seamless vinyl siding on, and I will give you the bargain of your life, let you pay me any way you want to. Call now.
Hey, we need some driving music. Okay. All right, this one.
When the mood for something spicy hits you, check out McDonald's latest snack sensation, the Chipotle Barbecue Snack Wrap. Juicy all-white chicken breast meat and a smoky sweet sauce with a kick.
Wildcats matching their biggest lead, 44-38, 6 straight points by the Wildcats. We'd like to take a moment to thank our Big 12 corporate partner, Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. Speaking of chickens, they're on display here at Bramlage Coliseum. The Wildcat fans are hoping to end this streak against the Jayhawks, a streak that started way back in 1984. This is the 263rd meeting between the Jayhawks and the Wildcats. First game ever played, 1907. Now Chalmers at the line. Don't forget, if you have a question about what's happening around the Big 12, you can contact our studio, Big 12 studio at ESPN.com. Tune in to see the answer from Reed Geddes or Stacey King. 8 points now for Mario Chalmers.
Terrell Arthur now back out on the floor for the Kansas Jayhawks. Let's see if K-State goes right after him. Could be matched up against Darren Kent. If Kent plays it like he has been, he'll be out on the perimeter looking to get an entry pass into Beasley.
Kansas crowd from the field. They scored first bucket of the second half. Haven't scored from the field since.
Beasley made his move to the basket there. He looked up. He saw 5 blue jerseys between him and the front of the rim. There they are again. He sees nothing but help defense as soon as he puts the ball on the floor.
Kent shot well short, knocked out of bounds by Young. It'll belong to KU. That's Sharon Collins walking the ball up the court. moves again. Rush. Stewart quickly closed on him.
Kansas State might be having trouble defensively out on the perimeter, but their interior defense has been outstanding.
Arthur. Tough shot off the glass. No good.
And that's that inside defense again, making it tough for everything from inside 10 feet.
6 more rebounds for K-State than KU tonight.
K-State's got 4 more offensive rebounds here in the second half alone.
They have 11 at the half. That's how the Wildcats are hanging around in this one. Not just hanging around, but a 4-point lead for K-State.
Darnell Jackson lined up against Beasley. Terrific entry pass.
No shot. Foul came first from Rush, and he picks up his second. So now Bill Walker, finally, after sitting for 5.5 minutes plus, he'll see his first action of the second half. Playing with 3 fouls, picked up 3 in the first half. I think it's a good time for Frank Martin to put him in this game right now.
Well, you got to get him in sometime. Yeah. To try to get back up to game speed. You talk about somebody who's better than game speed when this game started. He just dominated things early on for the Wildcats. Good help defense by Kansas right there. Well, Arthur stepping up, taking away that dribble drive. Easily against Kahn. Kahn will give up a lot of quickness out there on the perimeter.
They switch with Arthur. Pulling. That won't go well short. Quickly the Jayhawks push the ball. Now Rush for 3. That's a little strong. Kahn keeps it alive. Ron Collins can't get it to go, but there's Arthur with the tip home.
Beasley that time had the inside rebounding position, but pushed too far underneath the basket. Is the opportunity for Darrell Arthur.
Back to a 2-point contest. Walker, and a foul here on Arthur. That's his 4th.
Think about Bill Walker. You've got to respect his ability to put up that 3 ball. So defensively, you're forced to come out on the perimeter with him. And with Arthur stepping up, you know Walker's going to put the ball on the floor and try to get around him. Step up, hand up in the air, try to close out the shooter. A little too much contact on that dribble drive.
Beasley looking for some room again. Nails another 3.
That's quite a tandem, Walker and Beasley.
His 3rd 3 of the game. He's 3 for 3 from 3-point range. Now Collins answers at the other end.
Collins can be the go-to guy for the Jayhawks. He's been a consistent shooter from long range this year. Jackson slides his feet pretty well. He'll have to defensively there on Walker.
Bullen. And that would have counted had it gone. Jackson bumped him. Well, Darnell Jackson picks up his 2nd foul.
Kansas State doing a nice job that time down, Dave, stretching out the Kansas defense. Ball out on the perimeter with perimeter players and stepping their bigs out on the floor now.
Phillips 66 proud to be the presenting sponsor of Big 12 basketball. Next time you're on empty, fill up with Phillips 66 gasoline. Specially formulated to clean fuel injectors, increase performance, and above all, help maximize mileage. Phillips 66, hard-working gas. Michael Beasley now will get a breather. The 12:51 mark. Again, a good move here by Frank Martin with immediate timeout coming in 51 seconds.
He left the floor for a couple minutes in the first half. Similar kind of situation. Kind of stretch out that rest. This might be the only break he gets in the second half. Let's see how Kansas attacks it with Beasley on the bench right now. Their guards have been the focal point here in the second half. Trying to get in the middle of the K-State defense. They're not getting much out of the post right now. They're trying to make it a perimeter game.
And a whistle and a foul inside on Kent. And Kent has just picked up his 4th foul. So 4 on Darren Kent, 4 on Darrell Arthur for their respective teams.
Kent has not been a scorer tonight, Dave, but he's been great as far as distributing the basketball and help setting up Beasley.
So much for the plan of keeping Beasley on the bench through the media timeout. He has to report back in less than 20 seconds later.
Not exactly what Frank Martin had in mind, but that's the way he's going to have to play. Kansas will go with that 3-out, 2-in look.
Chalmers almost threw it away. What a save, and then a travel by Kahn.
Kansas guard took the ball into the middle that time, found himself in some heavy traffic to where he had to pass out. Didn't really have anybody to pass it to on the far side of the floor. That was all covered. Nobody was there. Almost rolled out of bounds early.
Chalmers almost had a steal. Walker tracks it down.
Kansas State very concerned about the defensive play of Chalmers on the entry pass. Talked about the Boston College game and how he took over that game against BC with his defense.
We'll have our timeout at the 11:58 mark. Kansas State leading by 4. We're back after this from your friends at Phillips 66.
Enter the $66,000 free throw giveaway from Phillips 66.
Game on. The doctor is in and he's about to operate.
You could win a chance to shoot 4 free throws at the Phillips 66 Men's Big 12 Basketball Championship in Kansas City. Each shot is worth big money. Sink all 4 and win $66,000. So get to practice and get to your nearest Phillips 66 store to register.
Whatever.
As you can see, this isn't your typical Midwestern farm. The reason lies 6,000 miles away in Japan, where a producer of specialty eggs needed corn for feed grown to precise standards. Cargill identified the producer's needs, then introduced an Illinois farmer to grow the exact corn needed and developed a system to ship it separately, connecting the farmer with a Japanese customer who was very appreciative. This is how Cargill works with customers.
When you're digging into a honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, it's easy to get carried away. But don't forget about those fries. They've got feelings, too. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich from Whataburger. 3 big crispy chicken strips with honey barbecue sauce and melted Monterey Jack on a toasted bun.
What a burger!
Just like you like it.
Need a lift?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford.
You too. Get in.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck. Visit ChevyHeartland.com for more information.
Young Wildcat fans coming out here to see a victory for K-State here tonight, leading by 4 at the 11:58 mark. Time now to take a look at our assist leaders, brought to you by Cargill. Collaborate, create, and succeed. These are the numbers from Big 12 play only. DJ Augustine continues to lead the way. Chalmers and Robinson combined for more than 9 assists per game, and Cullen, the freshman, at 3.75 in Big 12 play. Mario Chalmers in this game so far here tonight with 9 points and a couple of assists. And Kansas with the ball. Cullen, he's had a great game. 10 points for Cullen off the bench.
Dave, no big surprise, as strong as this league is this year, that you're getting solid point guard play.
Teron Collins can't hit. Young tracks it down.
Hit a shot, same area a couple possessions ago. Both teams having trouble making shots here early in the second half. Kansas now 3 of 11. Kansas State 3 of 10. Wide open post right now for K-State. Really stretching out.
The bank is open for Billy Walker.
He's acting as though he thought that was supposed to be a pass. Maybe Beasley around the rim.
Chalmers left open for 3. And Kahn tried to keep it alive. It goes out of bounds, and it belonged to the Wildcats. First racetrack action, College Station between Texas and Texas A&M. And look at that for Mark Turgeon's Aggies. A huge lead over the 10th-ranked Longhorns.
Texas A&M very strong at home this year, has struggled on the road. Looked like Texas had recovered from a first weekend loss against Missouri.
Well, they're jumping in the aisles here in Bramlage Coliseum. And they're probably excited about the golf challenge coming up. And if you would like to find out more about it, go to ESPNGolf.com. Sign up your course as a host or find a local qualifying site in your area. Be a part of the search for America's Best Twosome.
With a snowstorm coming in tonight about midnight, they're probably thinking about this basketball team right now.
I'm sure they are. Snow or not, they're hoping that streak ends tonight, the streak of the Jayhawks here at Bramlage Coliseum, 19-0, 24 straight wins in Manhattan. And they'd like to party like it's 1983. Of course, Les Kraft, a huge hero for the Wildcats that day. A couple of late free throws as K-State beat KU 58-57 in 1983. The last time the Wildcats won on their home court. Will Walker, 15 points now in this game. Beasley's had to work hard for his 17. He's just 6 for 15 from the field in this game.
Kansas has not done a lot of pressing throughout this early part of the season. A 1-2-2 zone press. They're doing a nice job of keeping their spacing. And Frank Martin talked about that earlier today. Guard spacing is going to be important against Kansas because their guards trap so well. Here's a 3-2 zone. The first zone that Kansas has played in a half-court game all season.
Mullen buries it with a three.
And a deep three.
And a foul by Pullen. A 10-point advantage by Kansas State. Not only their biggest of the game, but it matches the biggest deficit for the Jayhawks all year.
And Kansas State has gotten good balance all evening long. Beasley got off with a slow start. Walker was hot, and he got into foul trouble. They've been sharing the basketball tonight.
So the unbeaten Jayhawks in trouble in Manhattan. Rush, his three is well short. Beasley's got it.
A lot of white shirts on that defensive board that time for Kansas State. Kansas can't even hit the open shots right now. Last three from long range have been uncontested. 3 different players haven't been able to parry.
Now Pullen gives it up for Beasley.
How about Pullen the last 2 possessions? Buries the 3, then gives up the assist to the big fella.
What'd you say?
I can't hear you.
Ten straight by the Wildcats. And a foul inside on Sutton. Kansas facing their biggest deficit of the year. They trailed by 10 at USC. Now trailing by a dozen here. Of course, the only other unbeaten team in the land, Memphis, and they're beating Houston in the second half by 10. A lot of people think that it's one of only 2 remaining games in the regular season. It'll be tricky for Memphis. Another one being a game against Tennessee. Well, Sutton has just picked up his 3rd foul and goes over. Looks like he's suffering from cramps near the K-State bench.
He draws the foul on that again. The pressure out on the perimeter. Kansas State having a hard time containing the dribble drive of the Kansas guards. Kansas guards able to get to the free throw line. Remember, Kansas, a team that has struggled from the stripe early on this year.
5 of 6 in this game. And bouncing all over the rim and then in for Chalmers. Chalmers 3 of 3 from the stripe. 10 points in this game.
But Mike here helps Kansas set up that zone defense if they should decide to go with that pressure again.
How does he do that? I mean, how do you get 2 in a row to dance on the rim like that?
That's called a soft touch. Kansas comes out of the press. They go man-to-man defense. Again, they have not been all that effective this evening stealing the ball, trying to handle those K-State guards. They've done a good job on the offensive end.
You're right, Split. Only 2 steals for the Jayhawks tonight. Pullen. And Darrell Arthur's playing with 4 fouls, clears the glass.
And neither Walker nor Beasley was in that offensive rebound. Both of them well out on the floor.
No basket by Chalmers. The foul here on Young, and that'll be 3 on Blake Young.
Now, Kansas State's doing a good job of plugging up the middle, so the front line of Kansas has been relatively ineffective in this ballgame. Looks like if Kansas is going to come back in this one, they're going to have to get it done with the ball handling of their guards and the ability to get in the middle of that K-State defense. Here's Russell Robinson on the drive, trying to give up the pass to Chalmers, but getting the foul first.
To back up what you're saying, Darnell Jackson has 5 points. Sasha Khan just 2 points, and Arthur with 8. Most of those coming in the first half.
And Arthur's going to have to be very cautious the rest of the way, playing with those 4 fouls.
And KU tonight, their free throws are saving, and they're 9 for 10 from the line. Pull back within 8. 4 straight free throws for the Jayhawks. Walker, a 3. That won't go. Khan with a long rebound.
Bill Arthur's got to take a deep sigh of relief right there. He'd have been forced to try to stop the dribble drive. Walker took the 3. That's a tough angle on that shot for Arthur.
And Khan couldn't grab it. Well, here comes Clint Stewart, slowing things down now for the Wildcats. That's a senior move by Clint Stewart.
He'll go against another upperclassman in Brandon Rush. Arthur continues to man-to-man against Walker. Look at the open middle of the floor right there for K-State. 5 out, no in look. Blake Young just broke to the basket. Nobody saw it.
Walker tries another 3. That won't go. Got his own rebound. That won't go. Here comes Robinson. He gives it up for Chalmers.
Kansas never did have numbers in that transition game.
What a block by Beasley.
Once again, a Kansas guard taking it right at that K-State defense.
And pulling for 3. No. Robinson will track it down. Robinson can't get it to go. He goes sprawling out of bounds. Beasley with another rebound. He's got 6 of those.
You know, you appreciate the effort, but sometimes that's not a real good decision. That was a 1-on-3 break. Robinson just trying to spin that one up on the glass. Just as though he thought he was going to get fouled on that drive.
Beasley again drawing triple team. And a whistle and a foul here on Robinson as he picks up his second. 7:31 to go. Kansas State leading Kansas.
If you want to make your hard-earned dollar go a whole lot farther, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has the low prices guaranteed to save you money. Get ready to get the best price possible on all the parts and accessories you need with our ready-to-go low price guarantee. Nobody can beat our prices on just about anything for your car. So when you want to get more for your money while getting more out of your car, get to Advance Auto Parts for our everyday ready-to-go low price guarantee.
Ready in advance.
Yeah, hi. I was wondering, can I get a wake-up call tomorrow morning, please? 8:30 a.m.? Yeah, the thing is, I was wondering, can I get that to go to my cell phone instead of my room? Oh, well, here's the thing. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna be in my room tomorrow, so I just thought if you could call my cell phone, it would cover all bases. Please?
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
It's
It's amazing how much more people with higher levels of education earn. It can mean millions over a lifetime. If you've been thinking about going back to school, then do what thousands are doing by using the incredible free service offered by Education Connection. We can match you to the right career and the best online schools. We make finding the right schools easy.
Let Education Connection find the right school for you. It's free, so call 800-285-9718 or log on to 95edconnect.com.
Well, here in Manhattan, Michael Beasley and these Wildcats. Wild about their team right now as Kansas State leads it 57-49.
Michael Beasley was not much of a story in the first half. That's changed a lot here in the second half. Ability to step out and hit the three. Once he shows that, he's able to have the defense come up and challenge him. He puts the ball on the floor. Of course, always moving without the basketball. Teammates always looking for him. Beasley lighted up pretty well here in the second half.
That's been kind of his modus operandi. Our Star Watch update, Brandon Rush, all 12 of his points in the first half, now sitting on the bench for the Jayhawks. And Michael Beasley, 19 points, really coming on strong here with also 6 rebounds in this contest. I was talking with Frank Martin earlier today, split as the Wildcats just throw it away on the timeout. And he was saying about Beasley, said he's never really been the go-to guy. He's always had someone else to pair with. And so it's hard for him to recognize the fact that he is the go-to guy for the Wildcats. Sometimes we have to force him into that.
Well, he is the focal point of this offense, but he does have some help, especially the way Bill Walker is playing here tonight. Does not have to carry the entire load.
And Beasley has just picked up his first foul of the game. It's the 9th team foul on the Wildcats, so it'll be the Jayhawks going to the line in a 1-and-1 for Darrell Arthur, who is a 66% free throw shooter.
Kansas attacking quickly that last time down. Going to have to go after it that kind of passion the rest of the night.
Last 5 points for KU have come from the free throw line. In fact, a 5-0 run for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks, who trailed by a dozen, back within a half dozen now.
Pullen handles the ball out front a whole lot, even with Clint Stewart on the floor right now for Kansas State.
Beasley working on Bramlage. Jackson pulls up. Boy, he's smooth from the outside.
Well, he's so quick on his release. He doesn't need a lot of room to take that jump shot.
Stops a 6-0 run. Walker had to give some ground with his 3 fouls.
And Jackson taking it right at him. Now Walker not really sliding his feet all that much. Tried to take that drive away by hanging a leg out. But fortunately for him, there was no contact. Switches. Now it's Darrell Arthur on Beasley.
When you want to go to him now with Arthur with 4 fouls?
Well, I think anybody Arthur's on, I think you want to attack.
Walker goes around Jackson.
Walker's been the best on the floor tonight as far as putting the ball on the floor, out on the perimeter, and finishing at the rim. He's shown better quickness than anybody else.
How's this for a 1-2 punch? Walker and Beasley, a combined 38 points. And a foul here on Blake Young, who's just picked up his 4th.
Blake Young getting a little talk to by the official right there. His reaction after that foul. But the last K-State possession, very impressive. The work of Bill Walker with the ball in his hand out on the perimeter. A little pump fake. Darnell Jackson to slide by him. Just a couple dribbles. He's at the front edge of the rim, unable to finish. You can see why they had him out on the perimeter earlier on this year before moving him to the power forward position.
You bet. Now Robinson at the line. Jayhawks terrific at the line tonight, 12 of 13.
But as it's playing out, they're trading points with Kansas State. That favors the Cats the rest of the way.
Sure does. Look at him from the field tonight. Tough, but this point 3 for 3 from the line for Russell Robinson. Make it 4 for 4, and the Jayhawks 13 of 14. 6-point game under 6 minutes to go.
Kansas State doing a good job of keeping Kansas at bay, keeping a 2-possession lead or more. Got to think if Kansas is going to come back in this, and their guards going to have to take over and get them some extra possessions by trying to get some steals. Steals usually lead to transition points. Look how patient Kansas State is in the offensive end.
Now Stewart. Three-pointer.
Has been quiet most of the night, but Clint Stewart left wide open right there. That's his role on this team right now. Handle the basketball, hit the open three.
Little scoop shot by Sharon Collins. Wow.
Well, he is so quick at getting into the defense. He's the quickest of any of the Kansas guards. But again, Kansas gets a 2, but trades up a 3 on the other end.
By the way, tonight, the Wildcats are 11 for 24 from three-point range. They have another one? No. Well short by Walker.
Walker was cleared out in ISO play with Darrell Arthur.
Arthur couldn't find the handle and then stepped on the baseline.
That was going to be a pretty easy opportunity for Kansas because Arthur led the pack down the floor, and the guard found him underneath but couldn't control the pass in, dropped it on the baseline.
By the way, split the 11 threes by the Wildcats. That's a season high for them from three-point range. This is a team that normally shoots just 32% from three-point range.
They hit 10 threes their last time out against Iowa State, so that's 2 games in a row they've shot it well from deep.
Quick spin move on the baseline. Arthur got help. Now Stewart almost lost it to Rush.
Look at the help defense.
Beasley, 3!
Good help defense from Kansas. Good court awareness by Kansas State. Found an open shooter, and another clutch shot from the Wildcats.
The Jayhawks down to their final timeout. Michael Beasley, 4 for 4 from three-point range here tonight.
Well, Kansas going with their staple right there, and that's the defense. A couple guards looking for the steal, Hahn diving for the basketball. And with all that defensive effort going after the ball, no surprise that Michael Beasley finds himself wide open out on the perimeter. Kansas hustling all over the floor, looking to get the steal, couldn't get it. Kansas State gets points.
It seems like tonight's split, the Wildcats have had more than their fair share of loose balls.
Well, they've gotten it better than 50% of the ones that have come loose, but they have played with a lot of poise here this evening.
They have.
I think a lot of it came from the start that they had. Remember, they jumped up 11-5 in the first 4.5 minutes, and then they withstood the first Kansas assault at them, got tied at 14, and then K-State went back to work. They played with great confidence here in the second half.
A lot of people thought there were 2 real keys for the Wildcats tonight. Their guards playing with poise, which they have, only 2 steals by the Jayhawks, and Michael Beasley not getting in foul trouble. He hasn't been in foul trouble at all. Only 1 foul tonight, and as you see, 24 points on 4 of 4 shooting from three-point range.
And that first half is now a distant memory. We went just 3 of 10 from the floor. Kansas State in a zone defense now. They want to force Kansas to stay out on the perimeter. Force them to hit some deep shots.
Collins, he had a chip shot and then banked home by Arthur. A foul here on Collins. And we've got a timeout. The 3:46 mark. Kansas State trying to win in Manhattan against the Jayhawks for the first time in almost a quarter century.
For breakfast, try Chick-fil-A's tasty chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or breakfast burritos.
There's nothing I like better than beating Connecticut.
There's nothing I like better than beating Tennessee.
Except beating breast cancer.
Today, the only opponent we care about is beating breast cancer, and I'm asking you to help in the fight.
Join ESPN and the Women's Basketball Coaches Association and donate to the V Foundation for the KYOW WBCA Cancer Fund.
For more information,
visit jimmyv.org or call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V.
Own a timeshare or campground membership? Turn it into cash.
Timeshares Only got us our full asking price before our next monthly payment was due.
Timeshares Only is the nation's largest, #1 most successful timeshare agency, representing properties from the biggest names in the industry.
No one sells more timeshares.
Call now and receive a free information kit, including 10 secrets to timeshares. You owe it to yourself to work with the best.
Don't delay. Call 800-464-3216.
It's easy to brag about the Wildcats, but up here at Meadowlark Hills, I coach the second best team in all of Manhattan. Here come my Wildbirds.
Meadowlark Hills, it's not what you'd expect from a retirement community.
See what I mean?
They're unpredictable, unbeatable, and they do it live every day.
Every day for 25 years.
Live with Regis and Kelly, America's first smile of the day.
Live with Regis and Kelly, weekday mornings at 10.
This young team do what no K-State team has done since 1983. Can they close the deal against the #2 team in the land, the unbeaten Kansas Jayhawks, 67-59 right now, K-State. Here's the advanced look at upcoming games brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. And for Kansas State, they go to Missouri on Saturday in Columbia. Will all those suspended players be back for the Tigers? Then 2 home games with Nebraska and Oklahoma State. And they travel out to Lubbock, Texas. For the Jayhawks, they go to Colorado next. Then the big Monday showdown with the Missouri Tigers. The Baylor Bears come in a week from Saturday. Beasley would have counted had it gone. He's fouled on the play.
Kansas State with a set play coming in after that last timeout. An opportunity to set up Michael Beasley. Take a look at the upcoming games for Kansas State. As you get into February and March, they talk about signature wins. This would be a signature win if Wildcats can hold on here tonight.
Signature win with an exclamation point. The only team to beat KU if they can hang on for 3:42. With Frank Martin urging Beasley on, saying this one is far from over. Beasley missing that free throw. 24.6 rebounds for this phenomenal freshman who, in my mind, Split, he's already wrapped up freshman of the year honors in the country.
Well, there's a whole lot of basketball to be played. And there are some contenders out there, but you talk about a guy helping turn a program around and playing well in the clutch here tonight.
Chalmers charging in. No call, no whistle on that play. Now a little trap in the backcourt.
Kansas guards have really driven the ball hard here in the second half. There's been a lot of contact. Now they're going to have to play some hard defense, see if they can get some extra possessions.
Robinson trying to reach around on Pullen. He commits the foul. That's 18 fouls. Now on the Jayhawks, 3 on Robinson. So Pullen will be going to the line, shooting a 1-and-1. Pullen, by the way, perfect at the line tonight, 5 for 5.
Playing with a whole lot of confidence. You never believe that this is a first-year player. They leaned on him heavily early in the year with Clint Stewart out with that hamstring injury.
They'll get the bonus. The Wildcats, their fans, circled on their calendar way back from the 29th of January, 1983, the last time K-State tasted victory against KU here in Manhattan. They've never won here at Bramlage Coliseum. 19 straight times the Wildcats have come in here to win it.
And a lot of the sports shows, fans calling in and say, hey, let's go over and play the game at Air. Let's reopen that building. Kansas needs to attack quickly.
Chalmers lost the handle. And then Robinson tried to save it. It'll go to K-State. 15 turnovers for the Jayhawks.
And that's the last thing that Bill Self needed was an empty possession where they come away with nothing. As you get later in the ballgame, Kansas will be forced to try to apply more pressure, whether it be man-to-man in the half-court or some kind of full-court pressure.
That last possession Split, just the presence of Beasley in the paint really changed things for Brandon Rush. Pullen, he goes right down the middle. And a foul!
The defense just went away that time. Pullen put the ball on the floor, penetrated the lane, and the blue jerseys disappeared. It was like the parting of the waters. Pushed the ball to the offensive end. Robinson on his tail. And there's Brandon Rush stepping outside of the lane instead of stopping the dribble drive. Defense got out of the way.
How about Pullen's night? 18 points for Jacob Pullen, the freshman. Grabbing some of that thunder away from Beasley and Walker. And a foul here on Sutton. That's 4 on Sutton, who's playing in the place for the most part of Andre Gilbert. He started for Gilbert tonight. Andre Gilbert suspended for this game, out for disciplinary actions, breaking team rules, out indefinitely for K-State. So that'll be Chalmers at the line. Chalmers 13 points tonight. Mario Chalmers at the line, trying to keep Kansas at least in the neighborhood. The Wildcats have led by as many as a dozen in this game. Kansas 20-0 on the year. The Wildcats 4-0 in conference play, trying to go to 5-0 for the first time in more than a decade, and the Wildcats trying to assume first place in the Big 12.
An opportunity for Kansas to get points with the clock stopped and also to catch their breath. They're going to need to play solid defense. Small lineup on the floor right now. 4 solid defenders, small and quick.
But good work by Pullen to get around a double team. Young can't get it to go. Tipped home by Walker.
How about Kansas State not just killing clock? They're attacking the basket.
Split, if the Wildcats hang on and win this game, they're going to look back and say, boy, the work they did on the offensive glass tonight, one of the big reasons why.
Especially in that first half, that was huge, led to their lead at the intermission.
And a whistle and another foul inside will send Collins to the line.
Kansas is attacking with all their guards now every time down. They're either looking to get a layup or get the outlet pass for a possible 3 or get a foul, stop the clock, and shoot free throws. Right now, this is a guards game for Kansas.
Again, the 12-point deficit largely due to Jacob Pullen, who's had an outstanding game. In fact, only 1 point shy of his career high. 12-point deficit, the biggest of the year for the Jayhawks. They trail by 10 at USC, trailing by a dozen here. And this free throw there by Sharon Collins. Able to get the second one to go. 16 of 18 from the line for KU. Robinson up over the back. And Russell Robinson with the foul, and that will do it for Robinson, his 5th of the game.
That's a big break for Kansas State right there. That was a very poor pass into the middle of the floor, off the basket. Kansas State lucky to get a foul on that. That foul kind of bails them out. Plus, it takes a very good defender off the floor for Kansas.
A lot of people wondering, could the Wildcats handle the pressure that the Jayhawks would apply tonight? And I think the answer is a definitive yes, they can.
Yeah, they're very good at handling the basketball. They were very good with their spacing, so Kansas really wasn't able to get the double teams and traps that they're normally able to pick up.
So with Robinson fouling out here, each team using this as sort of like a timeout. Robinson leaves with a half a dozen points in this game, along with 3 assists. Now they've lost one of their floor generals. And the Jayhawks, as you mentioned, Split, they've been largely depending on their guards, especially here in the second half.
Well, Kansas has combo guards. They don't really have a point guard and a shooting guard per se. They just have guards that can handle it, run the offense, and shoot and score. Kansas State making them all look pretty normal tonight. Michael Beasley's had the big second half.
He's anything but normal, Beasley. Beasley with 25 points, a half a dozen rebounds. Again, 1983, the last time that Kansas State won on their home floor against the Jayhawks. 24 straight years they've been denied. Beasley, very outspoken, as a freshman, saying, we'll beat Kansas in Manhattan, we'll beat them in Lawrenceville, we'll beat them in Africa if necessary. We'll beat them anywhere. Certainly taking notice, but he has backed up his talk, Split, with another great game.
Well, Bill Self said that a guy's averaging 25 points and about 13 rebounds per ball game. He can do a little bit of talking, although I'm sure Kansas appreciate it. But Cats have really backed it up here this evening.
How about that? Talking to the senior Stewart, saying, "Come on, hit those free throws." Stewart able to hit the second one. Back to a 12-point Wildcat lead with just over 2.5 to go.
Threes. Let's see if they set up some ball picks out front.
Instead, a foul here by Blake Young, and he has just picked up number 5.
That's going to force Frank Martin to go a little bit deeper on his bench. Now remember, he does not have Andre Gilbert, another talented wing player. So I think we're going to get Chris Merriweather, who's going to appear for the first time tonight.
And Merriweather, a walk-on for K-State.
Well, the thing about Merriweather, he has played some over last year. In fact, there were some games where he came in and was kind of a game changer. In fact, one game at Kansas last year, he was a little bit quicker than some of his teammates, and he kept Kansas State hanging a little tougher in that ball game. So he has not only gotten time last year, more so than this season, but he's got the kind of quickness that can really help his team and offset Kansas.
In 1983, the last time that K-State won here in Manhattan, Ronald Reagan was the president. The stamp was only 20 cents. The very first cell phone was introduced 1983 in Split. You still don't have one.
Hey, I was an athlete back in '83 too.
It's new technology. Final episode of MASH. The average household income. Hey, that'd be a raise for me. And gas was only $1.29 a gallon.
You could get by on 20,000 back then.
Yeah, you could. We'll see. Will this be the year that amazing streak for the Jayhawks comes to a close? There's both coaches, both teams saying they weren't thinking at all about the streak. That was really more for the media and the fans of these two teams.
And you talk to the people at Kansas, and they didn't want to talk about it, but they say, not on my watch. They can do it on somebody else's. That look right there tells you all you need to know about the scoreboard right now.
Another streak could come to a close for the Jayhawks. It'd be their first loss of the year if they don't come back in this one. And a lot of people think, well, that's okay. You know, there's that theory split that a loss about this time of the year actually does a team more good than harm.
Well, it is a marathon. I mean, there are going to be tough nights on the floor. The question is, how can you bounce back from it?
Deflected a little bit by Chalmers.
And again, there's that spacing. Get the double team, pass out of it, find an open teammate.
And then Rush immediately, once Merriweather touched the ball, they fouled him. Merriweather, by the way, just 1 for 5 from the line all year.
That's coaching right there. That's identifying the personnel on the floor when he touches the ball. A guy who's got a foul to give, go ahead and give it.
Both teams in the double bonus now. More than 10 team fouls on the Jayhawks this half. Also more than 10 on the Wildcats. Merriweather mentioned a walk-on from Jacksonville, Florida. Now 1 for 6 from the line this year. And able to hit the second of 2. Well, the lead a dozen again with just over 2 minutes to go.
Kansas can cut into it a little bit right here with either a 2 or a 3. Kansas State showing full court pressure wants to slow them down. Ron Collins looking to get some help trying to get that ball inbound. Hey guys, wake up. Let's realize the situation on the floor. We're seeing some full court pressure.
Pushing it up now. Nice scoop move again by Sharon Collins.
The last thing Kansas State wants right now is to foul to stop that clock. Slow down the offense if you can. Slow it down when you get the basketball. Spread the floor. Force Kansas to run it sideline to sideline. Stay away from the cracks in the double team. Simply a game to keep away right now.
And a timeout taken by Frank Martin. He wants his team to do just what you're saying. Spread the court. Let's eat up as much clock as we possibly can. And who knows? This could be the year the Wildcats end the streak. Certainly in good shape now with a 10-point lead, 1:40 to go. They say it ain't bragging if you can back it up. And what Michael Beasley and Billy Walker and Jacob Pullen, the freshmen, have done tonight for K-State, it has been truly remarkable.
Well, again, there is the quote. There's been several months to go ahead and digest that. And he says we plan to beat them at home. We go to beat them at their house. Go play them anywhere. Think that we can handle the Jayhawks, and they certainly backed it up tonight. One thing that stands out about this Kansas State team, Dave, is they have gone out and beaten some teams in this league by wide margins. A 25-point win, a 16-point win. 21-point win, and then the close game at Oklahoma, just a 2-point win. But they have blown out some teams in league play, much like the Jayhawks have. And tonight they've outplayed Kansas.
Well, Kansas State has been wondering who will be that third piece of the puzzle to join them. And tonight it was Jacob Pullen with 18 points to join Beasley, who has 25, and Walker, who has 19.
And Clint Stewart has stepped up and hit some clutch shots. So they have distributed the basketball. It hasn't been a one or a two-man show. This has been a solid team effort.
Well, it certainly has. A lot of the talk coming in was, hey, the Wildcats have great players. Do they have a great team? I think tonight they've proven they do have a good team. Now Memphis winning tonight at Houston. They stay unbeaten. They go to 20-0 on the year with their win against Houston tonight down in Texas. This guy right here, Jacob Pullen for me split, he has been a big difference maker in this contest, handling the pressure of the Kansas guards, meanwhile scoring 18 points himself.
10th time this year he's been in double figures, averaging about 8 points per ball game over his last 5 games. But even better than that for him is a great assist to turnover ratio. 5 assists for every turnover. So this is a freshman that's coming along quickly for Kansas State.
The other thing we should start to talk about for Kansas State, with a win here tonight, a home win against the Jayhawks, they would go to 5-0 in conference play. The Jayhawks would fall to 5-1, and I'll tell you what, you're going to have a dogfight then in the Big 12 race. Three-pointer, Chalmers. He got it. Big turnaround there for KU as they pull it within 7.
Kansas State doing a good job. One, get the basketball inbounds. Make sure that you don't have a turnover without getting it in and starting that clock. The other thing we need to start thinking about, these students should be going right over our back onto the floor.
That's true. The body gear on. Beasley giving it up. These are precious seconds against KU. And now Robinson picks up the foul. I thought Robinson had already fouled out of this game. I guess that they had a scoring change and moved him to 4 fouls, and now he's just picked up his 5th foul.
Looks like Roderick Stewart is going to come in for Robinson, so they've got another good defender to go out on the floor. Both teams using this as an opportunity to get their teams over to their bench where they can give some instructions for the last minute and 3 seconds.
And I'm a little confused now. I'm the guy that did the 5th down game over at Missouri with the Tigers in Colorado, but on the stats monitor here, they actually have 6 fouls on Russell Robinson. This isn't the NBA.
Well, they got some NBA types playing in this game.
In the official scorer's book, though, we are told he officially has 5 fouls. Now, on the stats monitor we've been following all night here, he had 5 a few moments ago, and he picked up his 6th, but must have given one of his other fouls previously in this game to someone else. He gave that one to Chalmers earlier on the night, and didn't change it on the stats monitor that we have.
And there's that kid again.
Oh. By the way, 9 for 9 from the line for the kid. Jacob Pullen. A point here would give him a new career high. That's the kind of career high you want as a freshman. 20 points against your arch rival to perhaps break one of the most incredible streaks in college basketball history. Kent pulls it down.
He went after that rebound harder than anybody else.
The fans can feel it now. The Wildcats split. They look at the Xavier loss earlier this year as an aberration over the way they've been playing for 8 weeks. You'd have to say the way they have started Big 12 play has been nothing short of remarkable. The 2-point win at Oklahoma when the Sooners were at full strength, and then to blow out Texas A&M, and then couple that with maybe a double-figure win against the previously unbeaten Jayhawks. Really a great run for Frank Martin and the Wildcats.
That Xavier game threw up some red flags for Kansas State. They went to practice, looked to try to get better, found they had some weaknesses. It gave the coaches something to talk about, and they have corrected some of the problems they had.
Rush for 3. Finally gets some points. Those are his first 3 points of the second half. And a quick timeout, the last timeout for the Jayhawks. Well, Kansas calls their last time out. They're fighting right to the end. You got to give them credit. The Jayhawks so proud they've won not only 20 straight this year, but dating back to the middle of a couple of years ago, they won 68 of their last 75. A truly remarkable run. 34 of their last 35 overall.
Kansas looking to drive the basketball, get points, maybe free throws to follow, then pop the ball back out if it's not there. Finally, Brandon Rush able to hit one from deep.
By the way, the student section here at Bramlage Coliseum, they have filled the aisles. They're getting ready to storm this court here at Bramlage Coliseum. And we are right in front of the student section. We are certainly in trampled territory. I mean, these guys are going to come right over our back and out onto this court.
And it is pretty warm down here. I mean, there are a lot of people around right behind us, and that aisle that you're talking about is full. I believe is right behind you. Now these yellow shirts, I don't think there are enough of them.
They protect us, but I'm not sure they can handle the throng behind us. Here is Michael Beasley, and these Wildcats are going to perhaps break the most incredible streaks in college basketball history, certainly in Big 12 history. Kansas winning 19 straight here at Bramlage Coliseum, 24 straight overall in Manhattan. Walker. Is that the exclamation point? Wow. Collins again fighting to the end. And no timeouts remaining for KU. And Chalmers whistled for the foul. Walker will go to the line. Remember, Walker picked up 3 fouls in the first half. He's played the second half without any fouls. And 9 more points here in the second half. 21 on the night. Only 13 turnovers for K-State tonight, Split. So Frank Martin's club, they have really handled one of the best defenses in the entire country in the Kansas Jayhawks here tonight.
You know, and maybe one of the keys was that first 5 minutes. A lot of people thought that the Wildcats had come in maybe a little too amped up. Kansas has been in all kinds of big games with the personnel that they've had over the last couple of years, home and on the road at tournament time. But this is kind of an upstart program here in Manhattan, one that has been getting better really over the last several years. Got over some hurdles last year, won some close games under Bob Huggins that they hadn't been able to win in previous seasons. It looks like Frank Martin's getting ready to take them another step forward.
Some people, some naysayers saying, well, Frank Martin, was he the right choice for the Wildcats? Right now, the guy could win a mayoral race here in Manhattan.
Well, the thing that he has done is he has captured this opportunity, and that's what it is, an opportunity to show what you can do at this level.
And he was saying, you know, with the way they've been playing of late and all the accolades that he is getting, he said, you know, all of a sudden I'm a genius. And, you know, that to the victor go the spoils, and certainly the way his Wildcats have played, but the way they look at it, look, it's a 16-leg race, and this is leg 5 for them. 16, of course, being the number of games they play in conference.
Well, they know win or lose tonight. They're coming back tomorrow to go to practice to try to get better for the weekend. We already reviewed their upcoming schedule. They're at Columbia on Saturday.
The final seconds click off. The streak is dead. The Wildcats win it. All 12,000 fans here at Bramlage Coliseum spilling out onto the court. A huge celebration as Kansas State, for the first time since 1983, has knocked off the Kansas Jayhawks in Manhattan. The streak does end tonight. 4 players in double figures led by that man, Michael Beasley, with 25 points. Beasley true to his word, saying that the Wildcats would be able to knock off the Jayhawks, and they have done just that, handing KU their first loss of the year. And the Wildcats go to 5-0 in Big 12 play. Beasley with 25, joined by Bill Walker with 22. Jacob Pullen with a career-high 20 tonight, and Clint Stewart with 11. And the Wildcats able to win this one by the final score of 84-75.
No room left on the basketball floor. It's standing room only. We got any seat we want back up here in the house. Well, it was quite a show by the Kansas State basketball team. Now quite a show of support by their fans. They were here early, through the night, through the morning. Donuts delivered this morning, pizzas delivered this afternoon. Got to feel happy for the student body. They were rewarded with a great effort from their team here tonight.
And split right now, this court here at Bramlage Coliseum is turned into one giant mosh pit. Willie the Wildcat. These players are going to be escorted off. If they had a ticker tape parade, they'd be holding it inside Bramlage Coliseum right now.
What about Aggieville? It's deserted. Oh, they're all here.
It won't be for long. I'm sure these 12,000 fans are going to parade right through campus and celebrate Beasley and Walker and Pullen and all the rest as the Wildcats pull off a big upset win over the Kansas Jayhawks.
In football season, they take down the goalposts in situations like this. So the basketball standard's still in place.
Well, this will certainly send a message throughout the land as Kansas loses for the first time, and now there's only one unbeaten team left, and that would be the Memphis. They go to through a year unbeaten since Bob Knight's Indiana Hoosiers back in 1976.
You know, and you wonder if their schedule will be tough enough that it'll get them set up for the postseason like maybe the schedule of the Big 12. There were a lot of people, I think, nationally thought that Kansas State was a two-man basketball team. It was Michael Beasley and Bill Walker, that there really wasn't much else here to complement them or support them. But I think anybody who saw this game here tonight saw a different-looking Kansas State basketball team. Some team that had some experience out at the wings and had some backup players to come off that bench. You look at the bench points here tonight with a guy like Jacob Pullen coming out. Dominic Sutton played well. Darren Kent played well. The bench, a big factor in this win for K-State here this evening.
Bench offensive rebounding, 16 of those for the Wildcats here tonight, and then handling the pressure of those KU guards.
Yeah, it was what they did and what they didn't do. The offensive rebounds, the plus, and didn't give up the steals. And tonight, the way Kansas was shooting the ball, having a hard time buying baskets, whether it was long range or finishing drives to the basket, they couldn't get steals, couldn't get layups in transition. That offense kind of bogged down a little bit.
So the Kansas Jayhawks losing for the first time this year, and the Wildcats beating the Jayhawks for the first time ever at Bramlage Coliseum. The first time they have beaten the Jayhawks since 1983, as Kansas State have turned this conference upside down. The Wildcats at 5-0 now in conference play. The Jayhawks 3 straight Big 12 championships, and now it's K-State. They're in the driver's seat.
You take a look at Kansas State, and they were the preseason 4 pick in this conference. And you take a look at right now, sitting on top of the league, Kansas, Baylor with 1 loss, along with Texas going into play tonight.
Texas was losing big to Texas A&M earlier tonight. Nebraska and Missouri were playing a close one. So once again, It's the Kansas Jayhawks knocking off, the Kansas State Wildcats knocking off the Kansas Jayhawks 84-75. For Paul Splitart and our entire ESPN Plus crew, Dave Armstrong saying so long. Don't forget, tune in Saturday. Studio 66 starts at 12:30 with K-State at Missouri or Baylor at Texas. For more information, log on to ESPN Plus. Log on to ESPN-Plus.com. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports. Good night from Manhattan.